Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
For joining, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it, guys. Give me 1 second. I gotta. Well, I thought I had to sneeze, but you know, it's one of those sneezes that's lingering. That like I gotta sneeze, but I can't sneeze. Okay, there we go. I got it out. Again, please hit that like button. Make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. You guys are so awesome. Love all of y'all and uh, all that good stuff. Let's do a couple of announcements. Please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa. That's DANFO dot Africa. We are rolling. Hey, we're going to Zanzibar next month. I cannot wait. We are headed to Zanzibar next month. I am looking forward to it. So we're going to Zanzibar. We are also going to Kenya as well right after that. And then in November, we're doing Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone. In January, we're doing Benin Republic. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO.Africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO.Africa to learn more. Also, the documentary is streaming. Click on documentary. Again, please click on documentary. And I got to update something real quick. I'll do that in a second. But click on documentary, yeah, and watch the documentary. Again, view the documentary. Y'all, here we go. This is it right here. I need to edit that banner. Oh, here we go. I can do it right here. Guys, give me a second. Let me edit this real quick because Cash App is no longer working. So we're gonna put the Zelle information right there. Okay. Mirdinus at gmail.com. That's the Zelle. So that's what we're gonna put right there. Mirdinus at gmail.com is the Zelle information. So yeah, they don't want me to be great. Cash App does it. There we go. Bam. Good to go. All right. So that's what's going on, y'all. Come and join us on a trip. Buy the documentary. I know you will love the documentary. And once again, man, I just appreciate all y'all, man. Thank you for the support over the years. It really means a lot. Y'all come on up in this chat room, man. Come on and join us in this live stream. AR Sheriff, shout out to you. Good evening, brother, and looking forward to the content. Thank you so much. Guys, the Asantehene, whose hand I have shook, I've actually got to shake his hand before. You know what I mean? And this is well, King is very European, so we wouldn't say king. I guess you could say the leader uh, of the Ashanti uh, people of Ghana. He came to the America and spoke at Howard University yesterday. So we're gonna watch the speech, and of course, you got a certain group of people who are upset that he was allowed at the FBA University of Howard to speak. So we'll talk about that too. Uh, no, Elvis. I put the link in the chat room, and I said, "Okay, y'all, I'm gonna wait some." And I waited. Nana, just say Nana. Okay, we'll say Nana. All right. And I waited, and then y'all, you guys took your time. And then literally when I ended the stream, our brother from the UK clicked on a link, and it was already in the stream. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat room. We'll be on a little bit longer, but I'm happy. I'm happy that the Asantehene came to Howard, and I'm happy that the diaspora, specifically Black Americans, got to see African royalty. Got to see that brother wrapped in his kente cloth with his gold on. It was just looking royal and regal. We need images like that. That's the images that we need. So I'm happy that he came. I didn't watch the whole entire speech. I caught clips of it, but I'm glad he came. And our people needed to see that level of just royalty. I don't know how else to say it. But let me find. Maybe I could find the time I shook his hand because he shook my hand one time. I've been to. It's called Aquasidai, and it's I believe uh, the third Sunday of every month in Ghana. It takes place in Ghana, and I went. Asante. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, guys. Here's him shaking my hand. He shook my hand, y'all. He shook my hand. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There we go. He shook my hand. He shook my hand, y'all. Yeah, so nah, there were people, of course, they sold us into slavery, and why is he allowed to be at Howard, a FBA university, and they sold us, of course, that group showed up, you know. Yeah, man, I shook his hand. I got to shake his hand. I got to shake his hand. Why not? You know. You know, oh, they sold us into slavery, and oh, why is he at the FBA University allowed to speak? Good. Let him go to all the FBA universities to speak in his drip. Let him go to all the FBA universities in his drip. Because people need to see that. But anyways, let's get to the speech.
University in Washington, D.C., to hear from Ghanaian monarch Otumfuo Osei Tutu.
Good evening.
Oh, and then they brought up the whole year of return, and you know, oh, they was hustling us at the year of return, and you know, just a bunch of other people just finding issues to complain. But we need to see this brother. There we go. Let's listen to the speech. Look at that. Look at that royalty.
Asante for kadra for bonia ya kadabio bonia Asante for kadra for bonia ya kadabio minia bonia ye nana dia waye Asante baka wo waine kadabio bonia Asante for kadra for bonia ya kadabio. Otumfuo ya bambe, nana ya bambe, ya kwa, oibo ya aya bamba. Osali fogunya gwaso, kwasa tunagwe kasangen. Osali fogunya gwaso, kwasa tunagwe kasangen. Otokoli kase, krobiane kasangen. Otokoli kase, krobiane kasangen. Mema kobia irifia mani kotokungen. Mema kobia irifia mani kotokungen. Asante chantrot mo champo nufungen. Asante siesiebo sumantitien. Probia santinage kasangen. Osetu tuori mo di revisio. O persona di asumjene nkabombo asante mani gana menina. O binya sebi anko baby. Nagba bakana ne flampo dem referisi. Me mo jabi go da ko yadungen. Ya dom na ne dia ko boje jota dot mo champo lufungen. Oto sika sama na ji jakungen. E jakwe baba nko jom flo. Na flo flampo dem le fao. Wasadi fogu nyagwasingen. Ogbasa tinaje kasangen. Woku bedo to pleba de le fogu nyagwasa ajumna chelera. Yo.
On behalf of my dear wife and children, and on behalf of the chiefs and people of Asantehene, I bring you warm greetings. I'm deeply honored to stand before you at Howard University today, an institution whose history occupies a distinguished place in the intellectual, political, and social advancement of people of African descent. I express my sincere appreciation to the Executive Board of the Millennium Excellence Foundation, and to the leadership of Howard University for extending this invitation.
See, it's you, Kevin. It's you, Kevin. Kevin, it's you. Kevin, it's you, Kevin. There you go. See, it's you. It's you. Louis, I'm so happy you called in, Louis.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you did.
Louis, I got a bone to pick with you, Louis.
No problem.
How can you reduce? Look at your monarch. I mean, that's not the correct term, but look at your nana.
No.
Look at your leader.
No, the monarchy is perfect. What's wrong with that?
Okay. I thought it was more European, but okay. But look at your monarch, Louis.
Yep.
Why would you want to reduce him to a Hebrew?
He is a Hebrew.
He's not a Hebrew. Louis, stop it. Oh, Lord. Louis, stop it. Stop it, Louis.
He's a Hebrew.
He's not a Hebrew, Louis. Nowhere in the Ashanti history, nowhere does the Asantehene claim to be a Hebrew. Not at all.
Right. That's because many of our people do not understand.
Oh, Lord.
But that's another subject for another.
So are you saying that Asantehene does not understand, Louis? Are you saying that on this show?
They know.
They know.
No, listen, they've been informed. But what you have to remember is the present Asante form that we have is what we created when we came deeper into Africa. Okay, that's all we're saying. We were also in Egypt and in a place called Canaan that you call so-called Israel today. We are the people of the book. Okay, so what he's there to represent is our current culture, but we have a biblical culture that's gonna come back into play. That's why he represents Majesty, the King of Kings. That's why they call him that as a title in Ghana, King of Kings, because we do things through royalty. That's black people for you, bro. We were put here as the tribes of Israel.
Oh, Lord.
Tribes. Listen,
why are you reducing the Ashanti culture to being a Hebrew? I don't get it.
Because God has a bigger plan than even the Ashanti. But the Ashanti is good enough for us now. So we take it all on board. It
has nothing to do with Israel. But go ahead, Louis. Let's get back on topic. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm glad. Go ahead.
I'm so happy that culture, black culture, undiluted black culture was brought to the Western world. You see, this is what those who hate blackness don't want to see. But this is what the Ashanti represent. Pure black culture. The most undiluted black culture that we got left. Unfortunately, the modern world has taken much of the world's old ancient culture. But we, the Ashanti, preserved it as best as we can. And it is symbolized in the Asantehene and the Ashanti culture. We're trying to preserve what we got of the old world. And that is an example of what we as black people have. So it's not about looking at the world through the white man's lens. We show the white man we still got our pride. We show in the black world, the world as a whole, we preserve blackness. And it is embodied in the Ashantis through this man and his other kingship that we practice every day. You went to the Akwesidia Festival, so on. He now in this world represents not just Ashanti, Africa, and the ancient world before the white man. Look at his beautiful garments he wears. Look at the simple crown on his head. That's the simple one. You know the big one. The big picture with the green one on it. He's got many of them.
Yeah.
That shows black artistry. The world without the white man showing what beauty we see. Look at a beautiful cloth like a peacock. You understand? This is what we present to the world. Not to tell people we are better than anyone, but to say that we were able to preserve blackness, Africanness, the beauty of black. We try and show that in our culture, not to put people down, but to show that this is what we got before the white man. And black is beautiful. And what you see is beautiful. I wish you can understand what they're chanting. Because what they're singing is praises to him. And they're saying, there are those who look at us who are jealous, who wish they could be us or could be him, but they can't be him. Because the Ashanti represent that empire what they done in their contribution to the black world. And you can say whatever you want about the Ashanti, but right now we represent a reflection of the greatness of black. And it is worthy to be preserved, and it is the best preserved all around, infected by Islam and so on. The Ashantis were so good, other people fought to be part of the Ashanti. Okay? It's just that we were subdued like everybody else was through the barrel of the gun of the white man, but we still survived. And by the way, his ancestor was taken from the slave castle into slavery before the FBA come with their nonsense. Okay, so in the end, though his people participated in protecting their kingdom, they themselves ended up in slavery as well. So it's not as simple as we came and sold, they sold us. Nonsense is that. It's more complex than that. Okay, we had an African view, and then later on when we saw the world view, it was too late. We was also became victim, but we preserved what we got. That's what draws people to Ghana. Forget the Ghanaian government, we got a culture before the modern Ghanaian government. And what you've seen is the best of it. And we have enemies to this day who come on here, other shows, and put down the Ashanti, hate the Ashantis. People who live right next to us, who don't want to see Ashanti man in position of power. As a result, they don't vote for the Ashantis to be in power because they are scared that this power might come back. But this power represents our glory. So perhaps you should consider having an Ashanti, because then we've got records that we've got to look up to. But those people who do not have a strong background don't have a record to get back to. But we do. That's why we stand proud of the Ashantis, because you need a strong foundation of culture. And we've preserved that, and it is embodied in what this man does. Whether you like him or not, he represents black culture, whether you like it or not. Right now on the earth, that's the best preserved African culture. The others are cool, but this one, when he steps on the world stage, he stands before kings. And you know he's black. Ain't no mistake in that one. Ain't no white man in sight. Man, you don't even see a light-skinned brother, all due respect. Pure black. That's why I love the Ashanti. That's why I'm proud to be an Ashanti. But the Ashanti had a war for 100 years. And in that 100-year war, the family was split. And then to add fuel to fire, the white man turned up and made it even worse. So what you're seeing is a representation of an original family that was split up throughout the black world, throughout the world. So we are victims too. So it's not simple as, oh, you sold us. No. It is more complex than that. So we've got to stop letting people come on here and simplifying it. Oh, the Ashanti just turned up, started selling people. No, we were victims of slaves ourselves.
Lewis, Elvis is saying you're not Ashanti. He says you're a Chim.
Achim is from the Ashanti. Achim is, because we had a 100-year war, we split off different segments. So we speak the same language, everything. The Achim, the man himself standing there, his family members are Achim. You understand? So my dad, there's a man who spoke after this man spoke. His name is Otumfuo. He's the highest member of my dad's family. Yeah, if he saw me right now, the way he took his hand out, he shook your hand, he would be spitting me out from a father's mouth to pull me in. But I can't inherit from my dad. I inherit from my mom. And my mom has a similar thing that I couldn't ascend to, which is actual kinship. Slightly below the Asantehene, but I've got land and everything. I can go and claim that. Okay, so it's the same. Ashanti, Afanti, Achim, we're all the same. And Anado is Achim. And he that's his best friend. So it's the same family. So when this war went on for 100 years, you can imagine the repercussions that came of that, which is slave. When added to that, Europeans coming in, that's when the slave would just, it was like pouring gasoline on fire. So this is what people don't understand. That's why I'm glad the smart African-American people in the university invited him, because they know history. They know how important this man, and it's a perfect timing because we got the FBAs running amok. This is what we need. And the king, a real king with a purpose, a new purpose to unite the black world. His roles have become more and more important as time has gone on. When we look at ourselves as black people, okay, what's our role? This is what you're looking at. Did you see the motorcade that came in, that brought him into the Howard University?
Yes.
It looked like a scene out of the Coming to America. And he was assisted by the US police. Okay, he's a world diplomat. So when we talk, we shouldn't just talk loose. Too much people got freedom in Ghana talking loose about this man because they're jealous of the position that the Asante still find themselves in. Because when you look at history, we represented those who stood up against. The Zulus stood up against, but they've sold out. But this man still represents. Give me a few minutes, Dennis. I just got to turn my fire down on my cooker. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, no problem. Pass it to M. Go ahead, M.
All right, thank you, sir. I want to talk about the. Am I here? Can you hear me clearly?
I mean, you're in your car. I mean, it just sounds like you in your car. I mean, you know.
Okay. I'm gonna start off saying this right. I ain't dissing you for being like geeked out over like the royalty, the Ashanti royalty and whatnot. And you talked about how you shook his hand, but we don't know who this dude is. Like, he should have did a better job of like paying people like Roland Martin or yourself to let us know who he is. I mean, somebody in the media to give us an expose and break down some of his accomplishments and why he became an Asante king or whatever he is, a chieftain, and what has he achieved. Like, say for instance, we have the European heraldry. Heraldry. They got the coat of arms. Each symbol represents an accomplishment. Say you conquered somebody. Say you did this. Or say King James, he didn't put the Bible together. Set up the United Kingdom, the 13 colonies. Like, what have the Ashanti done, or what has he done to deserve any type of respect from anybody other than just being born into some unknown family? The only Ashanti in the world that matters is on Murder Inc. with Ja Rule and Irv Gotti. That's the only Ashanti that matters in this world. Like, these people, we don't know nothing about the people they sold. It's a failed kingdom because colonialism prevailed Ashanti after the destruction of whatever this Wagadu Ashanti Empire is, or any of them other kingdoms who had to flee to Liberia to get protection from colonialism. So now all of they're gonna pop up after Queen Elizabeth graciously granted you independence and called you Ghana.
Hey,
you want to go and dig up some Ashanti empire.
We called ourselves Ghana.
We don't know what you've done. Like, what have you done? Like, I listen to these people.
You're too stupid to read.
Hold on. I listen to these people, right?
To go to school. You don't.
I listen to these people on this platform brag about all of this failed slavery history, pre-colonial history, about all these slave traders that nobody cares about. That lost the war.
Howard University cares about it to invite him. Howard University cares about it to invite him.
Hold on. In American history, we learn about the colonial era. Why you jumping in? You just talked for like 10 minutes.
You ain't gonna come.
Hold on. In American
history, Louis, let him finish. Louis, let him finish.
In American history, we learn about the colonial era. We learn about the slave trade, and we learn about the antebellum era, which is like the antebellum South, like after the Louisiana Purchase, right? But we don't learn it from a perspective of as if it matters. These people, all of these people lost.
That's your problem.
The British lost. They was driven out of America. The Confederacy lost. We only worry about the winners. The failed kingdoms that y'all waste y'all time learning about doesn't matter because they wasn't able to prevent European colonialism.
Who was able to prevent European colonialism? Tell me who was able to do that.
You didn't do nothing about it, so you are a failure. Why are we learning about a kingdom? At least tell us what. Hold on. Tell me what have the Ashanti accomplished during colonialism?
Empire.
During colonialism.
Biggest in the world, you stupid fool.
What did you do during the Berlin Conference? How did you stop King Leopold?
I'm not even going to answer you.
What did you do
my friend? You're not getting
to prevent French colonialism? What did the Ashanti do to stop colonialism?
The Ashanti fought them off for 100 years, fool. You
during colonialism.
You stupid.
Tell me about it.
They never fully settled in the Ashanti land. We kept them out the land. That's why they wasn't a coast.
Ghana is named after the British named Ghana, and also Ghana is part of the British Commonwealth.
Named Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah
it's part of the British Commonwealth. It's part of the British Commonwealth.
Yes, we're part of the
British Commonwealth. So what is Ashanti? What good is you?
I think because we can trade. That's why we're the 6th biggest.
You traded with the British. But yeah. I just wanted to talk about the only Ashanti that matters in this world is Omer Inc. And that's about it.
That's how stupid you are. That's how dumb you are, my friend. That's why he's been invited to bloody Howard University to speak at a black, respected university. Not for FBAs, but for African Americans. Not for dummies. Okay, he was invited to the World Cup to speak. He's invited to the UN to speak. He's everywhere.
Tell me about his accomplishments. What did he? Tell me about his accomplishment. What did he do?
I tell you what he do. If you ever walk into his kingdom, you put your head on a block and chop it off.
What did he accomplish?
Sacrifice you to the.
All right. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Guys, the views and opinions of Lewis is not the views and opinions of His Search for Huru. Go ahead, Miss Sisters.
Oh, I just had to unmute myself. It took me a second. You know what? I don't know a lot about the monarch here. I just have a question for those who do know. What do the regular people think of him?
We love him. We love him.
Okay. Okay. What does he? And why is that? What does he do for you all?
Because he represented the power that existed, that kept law and order in West Africa for a long time and kept the white man out of riding us over as black people. That's what he represents. If you're a black person, you should at least know about the Ashanti. According to British military experts, these people were the greatest fighters, even above the Zulus. You go and look it up, just type in the Segrenty Wars, and the British will tell you they had to put together, after they colonized the whole world, they conquered India. The one place they never conquer was this place called the Gold Coast, that they called Gold Coast, because all the gold coming out of it. They couldn't penetrate into the interior. So the best of the British soldiers sell Arthur Garnet, which they refer to as Segrenty, bastardization. When our people try to say his name, they wanted to know who they were fighting against. And they say Self Garnet Woolston. So Self Garnet Woolston, they say Segrenty, it ended up being Segrenty. And that was the last great. Well, you go on YouTube and just type it in. They need to make a feature film about it. Okay? You will hear and see what the ancient African man fought and how he fought to defend himself against the greatest military on earth and against the greatest advancement in technology in terms of weaponry. That weaponry took out the Red Indian, they hardly exist. Took out all our people in Australia, all other places, conquered India. They had to bring Indians, Burma, Sikhs. They brought in ex-slaves from the Caribbean, in terms of the Caribbean army. They brought so many people. They went to Lagos and recruited Nigerians. They were not Nigerians then, and brought them there just so they could fight the Ashantis. And even then, they still couldn't penetrate fully.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right.
We had one of the greatest. We had one of the greatest empires.
Lewis, let her finish.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think you're answering my question. You're providing me a summary of history in the past.
Well, that's what you asked.
Okay, what is he doing? Okay, maybe I wasn't clear.
Okay,
what
right now.
He doing? Please let me finish. What is he doing now? Because I just did a little research about his position. He is primarily ceremonial. Is that correct? He does not have any influence over your government. So he is considered soft power. What is he doing for the average citizen in Ghana? That now, not in the past. What is he doing now to improve the quality of life of people today?
Very good. The Asantehene's role is similar to the King of England and all the other monarchies who have governments. It is reduced to mainly symbolic, But his one is very active. He's not allowed to get involved in politics, okay? But he brings development and investment to Ghana. Like as I was saying, in the last World Cup, the Soccer World Cup they had in the United States and Canada, he was one of the most important guests that they had there. Okay, he brings in a lot of investment. Okay, he owns the land of Asante. Okay, every gold that's mined from the Ashanti thing, he gets 10% of it. He's a very, very influential man. If he picks up his hand and he says this, and that, he can change the whole outlook of Ghana, the politics and everything else. But he doesn't get involved in that. He's a very disciplined, well-trained man. Okay, he brings mainly investment and development to Ghana, and he brings diplomats. Right? They often see him as the most powerful. He is the most powerful person in Ghana, but you can't vote him out. Okay, he solves a lot of conflicts in certain parts of Ghana where the people were originally under the Ashanti because they respect him. He's also a diplomat. He goes around the world, constantly being invited to solve issues in Africa more and more. Okay, and when they when the world want to speak to somebody else about the president, he's the man they go to. It's because of him, and primarily because of him, why Ghana is still stable today, because there's powers beyond the politics. And we see the old representative of the old empire as being the last bastion that's going to hold society together. Even Rollins couldn't even contain the Asantehene. But it is a good example to the leaders we got today, the presidents today, that if they don't do right, this is an example of people who done right. Okay, so he brings investment mainly to Ghana and to the Ashanti Kingdom. We want him to do more, okay, but he has a role he's got to play. He can't step above that because we're in a democracy and he's more or less symbolic. And what a better way to have, what president could have brought that sort of attention to Ghana than this man? As the African American brother said before the lecture came to me, he represents old Africa that still has power today.
Okay, Dinus, I'm going to yield and let someone else talk, but I might have some follow-up questions. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Baller's Life, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Shout out to Tamara Lynn for the 10 jewels. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, the Asantehene pretty much, this isn't like out of normal for him. He usually goes around the UK, America. Like he's very acquainted with the Western world, you know, out of the traditional rulers. And for people that don't really understand like why like people such as him is important, is sort of because like they represent like African sovereignty before colonialism, you know? Even though that's not the way that we do things now, but it's like it's sort of like he means more than just being like a political tool. Like he's basically doing what he can do under a democracy, right? Because you know, obviously after colonialism and after independence, you know, he doesn't have, you know, the same power that he did, you know, prior, where you know he was a king. And you know, honestly, I really don't think that Africa should go back to that because you know, I mean, you don't want, first of all, people to inherit power through, you know, bloodlines, and then at the same time, also don't want somebody to, you know, just have power simply because they were born into it. That could obviously go very wrong. You know, I mean, democracy's always, you know, it's already failing as is. So imagine going back to, you know, monarchies. But I think the thing that people aren't understanding is that he's more so like a symbolic culture, like he's a symbolic cultural representation of African sovereignty rather than political. Like as much as we understand like that we should never go back to, you know, being under kingdoms and chiefdoms, you know, because that could probably go very wrong. We also understand that this person has a importance to us from the pre-colonial period into now. So that's why, you know, he's honored and stuff like that. Because I've seen a lot of people were like wondering what's the relevance if, you know, he doesn't have any political power as a king. So
his power is exercised through influence. Very, very powerful. It's like asking the King of England. I like what you said, brother. What power does the King of England have? He has a lot of power. And then the Asantehene is no different. And Nkrumah had to play a very careful game because the Ashantis were invited in to be part of Ghana. And then Nkrumah, knowing that it wouldn't work, because originally Ghana did not actually include the Ashantis, because the Ashantis thought, soon as the British left, we're getting our power back. That's how it was. But the Asantehene was who had been to study in England, was returning back to take his throne, and he knew Nkrumah, because Nkrumah became the secretary of the Gold Coast movement. The Gold Coast movement represented get the people along the Cape Coast Castle and a few cocoa growing areas who were loyal to the British. But when Nkrumah became secretary of the Gold Coast movement, it was like, you can't have a country without the Ashantis. They're the most powerful. So he went over there, reached out to the Asantehene, and Asantehene was down with it, and his people were down with it. Some people still had their reservations, but Nkrumah was able to do his magic and get everybody to understand the rules. So the Ashanti agreed to be a part of Ghana. That's why sometimes if I come on here and someone annoys me and all that, I say, listen, we agree to be part of Ghana, we can pull out of Ghana.
And you know what? It even just reminded me too that it's also very important that the Asantehene keeps his line and his position going throughout the generations, right? Because as you know, European powers during colonialism took a lot of stuff. Like they have 90 to 95% of our artifacts, So it's very important for the Asantehene to keep this kingdom and this kingship going, so that way when it's time for like restitution and the return of like artifacts and things that meant stuff to our forefathers, right, that there is somebody that they can coordinate with, right? Because for example, in the Tanzanian government, there's a whole bunch of remains of people and artifacts that were taken during colonialism. They weren't even artifacts during the time they were taken, they were actually belongings, but they're labeled as artifacts now in museums, right? So
Hey, let me ask you a question.
No, you
want me a question?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. What artifacts did the Ashantis take from the Black Americans?
Oh man, shut up, bro.
I don't think there was any Black Americans.
What artifacts? Hold on. What artifacts did our ancestors leave behind?
Now that you say that, isn't there Black Americans that are of Ashanti descent?
Well, you got to ask the British.
The artifacts that we left. Listen. The artifacts. According to what Dynas teaches about us coming from,
Harriet Tubman's of Ashanti descent,
according to the host, his philosophy is our people came from Africa. So where is our artifact?
Yeah, but you're Red Indian.
Well, hold on.
We didn't come here with no artifacts. Y'all kept our artifacts.
You're Red Indian. I'm
going off what the host is teaching. The host teaches us that we are from Africa.
You're FBA.
So where are our artifacts?
You're FBA, bro.
I'm talking about what the host teaches. Dynas, do you not teach that our ancestors are from Africa?
No, we're talking about you, not Dynas.
Correct.
Therefore, our ancestors had something. Where is it?
You're Red Indian.
You talking about what the British got of yours? What do you got of ours?
What do you mean we have it? We got nothing of yours.
What do you got of ours? What did you steal from our ancestors?
We have nothing of yours.
So we had nothing.
When would this theft have taken place from your ancestors exactly? Like
you're Red
Indian. According to our great honorable host.
You don't come from Africa.
You do understand you share ancestors with us as well, right?
No. Comes from Africa, bro. This is what Dynas has been teaching us for over 15 years.
You said you're Red Indian.
So therefore, our ancestors have been robbed of artifacts.
But well, hold on.
Where are they?
To ask Dynas, infamous question: are you of African descent or are you an Indian?
I'm going off what Dynas teaches. This is his platform.
Yeah, so are you an Indian or are you an African?
Dynas teaches us this.
Because he's asked you this 100 times.
I'm not.
I'm not. I'll ask the question. So figure it out. I asked the question. Figure it out.
Dynas, I think you need to move on to the other guest. We got the other.
Yeah. Me move. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, damn, I was mute. Yeah, man. Well, I just want to know exactly what is the what's it called? The Asantehene?
Yep.
What is that exactly?
I'll explain.
That means he's the king of the Ashanti.
I'll explain quickly. We use the word chief a lot nowadays. You have to remember that before the white man
so I thought that was like the name of a ceremony or something. So it just means he the king.
The hene means king. We use the word hene to represent those people you see as the small chief, big chief. There was no chief. It was just Hene. When the British took over, because they had a king and a queen, they didn't want anybody under them to be known as king. So they reduced the king, the Hene, only to the top 4 kings in Ghana, and then reduced the others to chieftaincy, which we accepted for a while. But we, the regular Ghanaian Africans now, we begin to take on that chieftain thing. No, it's a Hene. The Asante king. That's what it is. The Hene means king.
But what is he doing over here, though?
He was invited by Howard University to make an address.
Yeah. So, Howard full of all them little boule coons and.
Well, we could say the boule coons, but it's our leaders and so on. Our Masons, and that's how it seems to be the people at the top, how they run it. And it works for us. We're able to communicate the main things that we have leadership in the black world, and we've got it, both modern and traditional.
Yeah, man. It's just, I don't know. They don't like they're supposed to be over here, man. They don't like they're supposed to be over here. I'm like, there ain't no point in being over here. He ain't got no power in Ghana. You can't do nothing over here, especially.
He's got power in Ghana. You must be joking. He's probably he's more influential than the president. Trust me.
Yeah, he has like cultural and influential power. You know what I mean? It's almost like Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like that.
It's not like he's like even bigger, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like
he is. He's just like the King of England.
He don't got that type of power, man.
Yeah. Who told you that? He run an empire. Brother, go and read up on the Ashanti.
Man, I done heard plenty about the Ashanti, but like what Bud said, man, the only Ashanti that's not over here, she fine.
Okay, but he has a lot of power.
It's like I hear you keep saying, like he the representation of black, but he ain't got nothing to do with black people. He's representing Ghana. He's representing Africa. He's not representing no black people. Ain't got nothing to do with us.
You do know Harriet Tubman is from the kingdom that he rules, right?
That was a lie.
That's facts.
Man, how would an African know how to get around on foot like, man? Come on, man. Y'all believe anything you folks say.
Her grandmother, hold on. Her grandmother was brought here as a slave.
Man, there is no proof on none of that, man.
No, I can give you her name too. Hold on, let me go find
her. Hold on, Chris. Are you saying Harriet Tubman is an Indian?
Man, she is definitely. Who else would know how to navigate around?
I'm asking the question. Are you saying Harriet Tubman was an Indian?
She was indigenous.
Oh Lord.
Oh God, we didn't.
I don't know why y'all really think everybody. How would some Africans be able to take over swamps and like?
Hold on. 1 second. Miss Sisters, are you there? Miss Sisters, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, you being an educator, if one of your students would have told you that Harriet Tubman was indigenous to America, what would you say?
I've never heard or read about that, but I can't say it's not true. I've just never come across that in my
school is where you get indoctrinated with all the lies.
So here it says that Harriet Tubman's maternal grandmother was named Majesty, right? And she arrived in Maryland from a slave ship in the 18th century.
Of course,
and
they
Harriet
said that.
Literally has a quote talking that she calls herself Ashanti, literally.
Man, come on.
No,
man.
like you can look this up. If you think I'm bluffing, look it up.
I ain't gonna look up no lies, man.
Bro, you see, because you know I'm right.
Bro, you was not right. I believe in
that,
but I know that's not right.
Listen to me, brother.
Why are they attaching themselves to our historical icons?
That's what I'm saying. That sounds ridiculous, man.
Because your historical icon looks exactly like an Ashanti woman selling porridge in a bloody Kumasi market. That's why.
What about Phyllis Wheatley? Tell me about Phyllis Wheatley.
Who the hell is he? We're talking about the Asantehene.
You also know Phyllis Wheatley from West Africa as well.
The first poet, and look it up. When she was with the Countess, I forget the Countess' name. She had a speech separating herself from Africans. She separated the people in America from the African struggle.
Let me go fact check.
Phyllis Wheatley was born in Africa. Phyllis Wheatley was born in Africa.
She wasn't born in Africa. She was born in America. She had a baby.
They say that about everybody.
I wish somebody. The guy's finna fact check. He's finna fact check this. They try to say she's African, but when she made her speech and fact check, yeah.
Honestly, you.
So, what do you want me to ask? Where is Phyllis Wheatley from?
No, ask her about her famous speech with the Countess from London, in which she separated herself from the plight of Africans.
But
She didn't call herself an African.
But she was born in Africa.
She wasn't born in Africa.
Okay, prove it.
No, she was.
Prove it, Chris.
She was born into slavery.
All right, check this out. This for the dude that stay in Britain. You have you been to the British Museum out there?
And me? Is that for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to the British Museum. I drive past.
Have you seen the American exhibit that you got to reserve like 3 days in advance?
Sometimes, busy seasons you can be waiting for a long time.
Have you been in there though? Have you been in that part?
Yeah, I drive a tour bus past it.
So you actually seen the real emblem of America?
What she said, or
have you seen the real emblem of America?
It does. I know I haven't. America is going to come lately, so British Museum.
No, see, in the British Museum, they got an American exhibit that you got to book at least 3 days in advance to see all the stuff they had from America, all the from colonial times.
Chris, have you been, Chris? And do you have a passport?
I haven't been to Britain. No, no, sir.
Chris,
but I know what to look for when I do go.
Chris, do you have a passport?
No, I don't have a passport.
Okay,
they're not black people.
Okay, Chris. All right, we got.
So I can read it.
I got to pass them. I got it. Chris, we got to move on. Go ahead, Kidola.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. I'll be here in a short time. Dennis, it's a pity that some of these people that come over here to your show, they're from the FBA descendants. I don't know what kind of school they went to, if they even educated self. At the Murphy have destroyed some of their mind with 48-hour movies and coming to America. Some of these movies that they're watching, if people speak in an open place with other people, I tell you, people will be chased away with a cane and flog and open the door and push people out. People try to spin history into things that actually never really existed. It's a pity. Even I'm sorry for the lady who will try to play also some kind of a game also. I think she's far more educated also in this kind of thing also, but she's playing for this gallery also. Ashanti is far more powerful in this community called the Ashanti land in Kumasi. If you attack Kumasi, this man will descend on his own soldiers on you. That's how powerful he is.
How did they get colonized?
Hold on, man. Hey, please. I don't want to deal with low life like you, man.
Man, you ain't talking about nothing.
There's no voice in the hood.
Say that in my face.
You wish
it's a shame. You people come out here and disgrace people's self. We think America have far more better education. But see, people don't learn nothing.
You learn everything you know from white
people. Don't learn nothing.
You don't know no real history.
You talk about British Museum. You talk about British Museum. You never even be there. But how do you know what is there?
Yep.
Because I do research. Because I do research.
Look at research.
I do my research.
Nigeria.
Ashanti man is a king. It's a powerful king. And the subject of the Ashanti people, he's the head. He owns nearly everything there. To talk, he have to be ruled also by, in that kingdom, they also have their own democratic power, also share power. They come around and solve problems together, and that's how they operate in that society. That's just the way it is.
In the USA.
Hold on, man. I don't want to. You are disgraced. You see, when I come here sometime, if you put the face of Black American, it will be a shame to even associate with people to people even Black race. I've seen far more well-educated Black Americans.
No, you're not.
You guys that stay in corners can't even calculate 2 plus 2 into something. Where once, when you people come out here and spend the really king is Avdati. What a Jeru. Disgrace. Disgrace.
I'm just saying, have y'all seen the emblem of America?
Man, if you're smoking weed,
the emblem of America and the emblem of Africa.
I'll search it
Man,
up. I don't think
you
Africa has
come to
one
these
emblem
shows.
though.
They
You
got
know,
they
you
got one.
come
They
to
got
these
That
one
shows
for
sounds
to
all
ridiculous,
the
but
continents. The
you
allegories of the
come to these
continents
shows.
and the
You
emblems
come
of
to
all
these
the
shows to
continents.
open your mouth, and you become like a disgrace.
They show the
Be
representation of the
disgraced.
people before the out of Africa theory was created.
And
Nigga, you
Chris,
disgrace
America,
people. You supposed to disgrace yourself.
Chris, them people ain't true, Chris. They're not you. All right, let me
No,
pass the
you
mic
put
to Warden.
disgrace. You put disgracing things that.
I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, Warden. Go ahead,
Man,
Warden.
thank you, Dennis. I'm leaving this
You're
show, man.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, go ahead, Warden.
nigga, Buddhist
Hold on,
president.
I think that some of our people live in denial that we still don't have any royal kingdoms or anything of the sort in America. So that's why they have to get so in their feelings about not having such a thing here,
That shit
even
ain't
though
royal.
you're not royal. So it's like most of the people that, well, mostly Black Americans, they feel some type of way. They want to throw shade and all this other stuff. Yeah, many African countries or many African tribes still have their kings. Some still have matriarchy, and it shows that they still have some sorts of structure in their societies. So things just showing, just points to show that yeah, I think more in African tribes that we need to start going back to that more community based type of style instead of more the individual base that we live in now. But that's
Killing us.
what I stop off.
Individuality is killing us. But that is, if I can just say, the symbol of the Ashanti is the porcupine. That's a symbol. Okay. The golden stool of the Ashanti is something that the British went out of the way to come and take. They fought a particular war to take the Ashanti from, but it was taken into the bush by Ya Asantehene, and the British never got a hold of it. But the Ashanti were very smart. They made a fake one out of copper and painted it with gold paint. How they done it? The ingenuity of the Ashantis. They painted it gold paint. They gave it to this British general. He put it on a ship, sailed it back to Europe. When he got into the British Sea and the seawater started corroding, and then the copper started showing through. He was a fortune of war. He was thinking that he's going to go back to Britain and be rich. By the time he got to Britain, he saw that he had been fooled by these black Africans. Okay? And the man got vexed. He got back home and he got nothing. And we still got the Ashanti stew, the golden stew. It comes out every year, every 10 years, sorry. The golden stew of Ashanti. Because the golden stew of Ashanti exists, Ashanti kingdom never dies.
All right, go ahead. Hello.
Hi, Dynast.
Hello.
And hello, everyone else.
Hello.
I'm not here to satisfy any one of your curiosities about Africa, the ancient people with pride and vigor, walking tall with our heads held high up above the sky. It doesn't matter what you think, what you say, we destroy the culture or the fabric of Africa. If you feel you have a lineage with Africa and you want to know about it, come down from your very high horse that could destroy you and learn humbly. If you do not know, don't come out ignorantly, disgracing yourself and opening your illiterate mouth to talk trash about something you know nothing about. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Question mark. If you do not know who you are confused. You need to go back and ask yourself who you are, not about who I'm following, what group I'm trying to form. Individually, you need to know who you are before you can talk about Africa. If you don't know who you are, you have no damn right to talk about Africa, because Africa is bigger than yourself. If you don't want to be part of
Yes.
Africa,
Amen.
delineate. I support you 200%. You don't need to keep ringing that in my busy, peaceful, happy ears. I don't care. If you want to go, go.
Oh.
But if you go, never come back, because that road is going to be total, complete, forever separation, and the history is on the social media. It does not forget and will never forgive. If you want to go, go
Go.
with your heads held high up without shame. Whatever happens to you there, good luck to you. Whatever happens to Africa, it's none of your concern. Africans do not care. Since you don't want to respect yourselves, it's not about war. This is not war. It's about Africa want to rediscover themselves.
Yep.
They are not perfect, but they're trying to put their things together and see how they can survive. You're not going to be the ships that will come like treacherously to destroy us. You come
Right.
as if you're an African, but you're actually a snake. You want to actually destroy Africa.
Yep.
If you want
Can't
to
be
be an
stopped.
African, I'm not saying you should prove it. Be yourself. We will embrace you. We would love you. I found a Dynast website, YouTube programs from the way he was ordained in Africa as one of us. And we love him for that. And we accept Dynast and we respect him. We love him. It has nothing to do with being American or anything. He's a good human being with a
Yep.
soul. So if you don't have that soul, you want to fly away like butterfly, be confused, go, no problem. I'm not one of those Africans that is saying do not go. Sometimes I feel baffled when people will come online to say we want to delineate, but the Africans have problems with it. We don't.
You don't.
If you want to do something, do it. Please
Go ahead.
just do it. Stop singing about it's like you want to build a house, you keep going around. Oh, I want to build a house. I want to build a house. I want to build a house. Give me space, give me land. Build your house. Guard your house. Move on. You said we are different people. We don't look alike. We are
Yep.
ugly. We are that. Yes, that's true. We are ugly, but we know that we are beautiful people for ourselves. You don't want to know us. We don't want to know you.
End of.
And then about this our honorable man in America, I will bow down before him. After Christ, I will bow down in front of him. I will lick his feet. I will wash his feet with diamonds and everything I can lay my hands on. And I would be there. If he says I should be there for 100 days, I will stay there lying down on his feet because it is our culture. Our cultures have never died, regardless of civilization, regardless of
Yep.
what's this kind of political whatever the democracy,
Dispensation.
democracy.
Yep.
Shit. Yeah,
Yep.
we Africans don't practice democracy. We don't believe in democracy. Everyone come as CIA selling democracy to us. We do
That's
not
it.
believe in democracy. We are cultural people first. Don't
Yep.
forget that.
That's
Whatever
why
we're
we
doing
don't
as
get rid of
politics is just what we are showing to the world. But we are tribal cultural people. So
people.
this man, apart from the supreme God, Chukwu Okike Abiyama, that we know about, he is next to his
Yep.
people. And we love him. I'm from Nigeria, but I can go extra miles for him as
Yep.
the
And he.
supreme person, supreme
Yep.
being chosen.
Yeah. He's
So
a
you
good
do not
friend
have
of the
right to
Oba.
talk down on him. I respect him more than any other monarch on this planet because he's of Africa, okay? And I love Africa. I will die for Africa. And people say, oh, Nigerians want to claim to be America, wherever they go, they say they're Americans. I do not form my accent. My
From
accent is
America.
bloody African, and I'm proud of
Yep.
that. That's what makes me beautiful and unique. It
Yep.
makes me stand out tall everywhere I go. I'm Nigerian, and I'm
Yep.
of Igbo tribe, if you want to
Yep.
know. We are
Yep.
proud people. Because let me not speak anymore, but let
Yep.
no one of these people who think they want to delineate think they have the audacity to speak about a supreme man. You do not. You can't even wash his clothes, not to talk of his slippers. You
Yep.
cannot. It's not about money.
Yep.
You do not know about African
He
culture. Do not
represents the
open your mouth
people.
because you're disgracing yourself. You do not know. Go make
Yep.
your research before you talk.
Yep.
It's illiteracy. An
Yeah.
illiterate person is doesn't mean you should be ignorant of
Mm-hmm.
being illiterate. Whatever you say on the social media will remain there. It's never going to be wiped away. Imagine 10 years to come and they hear someone spewing unintelligent conversations that doesn't make sense. You're talking about a group of people across the ocean that you've never been. And you're asking them to give you land because you said they sold you. You keep saying give you land in Africa, like as if it's your property. You do not deserve any single, even a strand of an animal hair from
Okay. Let
Africa.
me ask you this.
You're never gonna get a land.
Let me
I
ask you
will
this
make
though.
sure of that. Hear me
Let me
again.
ask you
I
this
will
though.
make sure you don't get nothing from Africa. We don't want to
Okay.
see someone like you, especially you. Do not come to Africa. You're not welcomed. Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you this though.
Don't
I
talk
asked
to
the other
me.
guy the question.
Thank you.
Right?
She don't want to answer your question.
Now, if the teachings of Dinas is true, that our people came from Africa, did we have anything? Did y'all take any of our artifacts, or did we leave
You're
anything
not
behind?
What do
African.
we
You're
have to
not
take
African.
something
You're
from you for,
FBA.
man?
Go away. You're FBA.
If
Go away.
we was taken, you think we didn't have anything?
No
We was
one
walking
took
around
But
you.
what
naked.
are you trying to say?
You are
Why would we
Indian man.
be the ones
You
that
are an
took it?
Indian man. No one took you. You are
Yeah.
Indian. You're not
Did
African.
we bring it with us?
You're Red Indian. You're Red
Did
Indian,
we
bro.
take it? I'm going off the philosophy of this channel
No,
that
you're Red
we are
Indian. You're Red
from
You
Indian,
said
bro.
you're
Africa.
Well,
FBA. You
so
said
what?
you're
Where do you think your
FBA.
ancestors are from, man?
You said you're
I mean,
FBA. You're not African. So go.
according, I'm not
Oh,
gonna keep
let's
mentioning
not.
Dinas, but
Dynast
according
is
to
uneducated, right?
Professor
You're the
Smalls,
most educated person here. Where's your
Professor
ancestors from?
Smalls, according
Oh,
to
now you're
Professor
quoting
Smalls,
Professor Smalls now?
according to Dinas, according to John
Man,
Henry
you're a
Clark,
scholar, right?
we
You're a
are
scholar,
we
right?
are from West Africa. So therefore,
You're a scholar,
what did
right?
y'all take
You're a
from us?
Moorish scholar, Hebrew Israelite scholar, right? Where are you from? Where are
Ghanaians
your
are
ancestors
our
from?
brothers by
I never
blood. We
said I
came
was
from
none of
the
that.
we
What
are
you talking
one
about?
people. The
But
whole
I'm
of
saying, where are
What you
your
Africa
talking about?
ancestors from,
are
though?
one people. You cannot divide us.
I just told you this is West Africa. What are you talking about?
But I thought you said you weren't a dirty
Well,
African,
I
though.
would like to ask Hello a
Who said
question
something
if
about dirty
she's
Africa? What are you
still
talking about?
here.
Didn't you say you're not us?
Hello,
You
is
talking
she
about
still on?
now when I mention perhaps possible resources that were
Hello,
taken from us, now all of a sudden I'm not African no more.
You
I would
ain't
like
getting no
to
resources,
come
man.
close. Is
So I'm
Hello
confused.
still available? Hello, can I ask you a question?
Whoa.
Hello, are you
Anyways, I'm
still?
out of here. Thank you, Dynast. Bye bye.
You talking to me?
Hello, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, did she
Oh,
leave?
I think she's gone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm confused. Is
Hold on.
Emma
Hello.
African now?
Hello. Can Miss Sisters ask you a question? Hello.
I think
Yeah.
she's gone.
I said hello, not Baller's Life. I said hello. Hello. Can Miss Sisters ask you a question? Hello. Okay, I guess she's gone. All right, go ahead, Econ.
Yeah, hello, my people. Respect to you, Dinas.
Respect, man.
The Asantehene is my king.
Mm-hmm.
He is my king, and I'm from the diaspora, but he is my king. I have other African kings, but I don't have no European king. But he is the ultimate king to me. He is my king. So all the highest respect to the Asantehene.
Yeah.
You hear that?
He's gonna be coming to Jamaica soon. He's gonna come to Jamaica soon.
Yeah. And I follow him. He was in Barbados, and I
Yes.
listen his lecture.
Yep.
He's a very educated man.
Yep.
Here, he's not no his power is like 15 million people strong. That's who is. I mean, the Ashanti people. They're like 15 million people, right?
Well, at the moment in Ghana, a little bit more than that. But don't forget, we go into Ivory Coast as well.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to tell to some people. Like, you know what it is to rule 20 million people? Come on, y'all need to pay the man respect.
Sorry,
That's
I'm
it.
back.
That's it.
I'm back, Dynast.
Hey, Dinas, I found
Well,
it.
hold on. Let Miss Sisters ask her. Go ahead, Miss
I
Sisters,
wasn't
ask your
here
question.
before. I didn't want to be disrespectful. I had to
Well,
come back.
hello. Let Miss Sisters ask you her question. Go ahead, Miss Sisters.
Hello, I'm so glad you came forward to speak your piece. I just have a question about something that you said. You know, are you not supportive of a democratic form of government? Did I understand that correctly?
It depends because Africa is diverse, and the way we govern ourselves thousands of years ago had been recorded that some of our ideas were stolen and modernized to what is called democracy now. I'm from the Igbo tribe, and we are Republican by nature. So it depends on the part of the countries you're talking about in Africa that would determine that. I actually had logged out when you were talking to me. I wasn't in the panel. I had logged out, but because I didn't want to be disrespectful, I had to come back to answer your question. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for returning. And just to let you know, the the concept of a monarch is very foreign, especially to Americans and even Black Americans, because as you're probably aware, we fought, the American Revolution was one in which we fought to remove ourselves from the monarchy. And so that's where the skepticism is coming from. It's the questions that some of us are asking, it's not to be respectful, it's just not a part of our American culture to recognize a monarch. And that is just something that we as Americans don't do. But thank you for returning.
I have to push back. I disagree. When that
Can I respond?
I'm talking. No, I disagree because what's her name? Merkel, the mixed girl. That's the queen or the
Meghan
princess.
Markle, yeah. They were going mad
I
for
swear
her.
the way black folks was, oh my
Yep.
God,
Oh yeah.
the princess and Prince Harry, Harry and Merkel, oh my
Yep.
God.
Sister
Yeah,
Dinah,
so I disagree. I completely disagree on that.
Yeah.
can I
We'll
say
have
something
to.
about that, Maya? Since I came back to have a conversation with you, if I'm allowed.
No,
Yes,
no,
you
but hello, but one second, but Mrs. That makes sense. I swear to God, the way black folks, oh my God, Prince Harry and Miss Merkel and Merkel, oh my God.
White Zaddy. White Zaddy worship.
I think the issue is black people have an issue with
Black
African
people.
Yep.
Yeah.
traditional African leadership. Because when it comes to this European market monarchy, oh black folks here in America get a hard on. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
It's true. It's
I
true.
sat here and watched it. In fact,
Come on, man.
I'll give you another example.
I just don't
Mississippi,
follow them. Maybe it's just my
It wasn't
personal.
us crying and rolling all over the floor
Can
when the
oh
I
queen
Lord,
died.
black folks, these sisters and black folks
can I
over Meghan
respond?
Markle, they was just, oh my
That's
God,
because they thought she
oh,
was
what
black.
are we next?
Can I
Oh.
respond,
No, because
please?
they want a white Zaddy.
Oh, let's hear from
Dinah.
Hello.
Go ahead,
Okay.
hello, go ahead, hello.
So what I want to say is
Ernest,
that
what if it was a Ashanti
Hold on,
prince?
Hello, trying to talk. Go ahead, hello.
regardless of what happened in Africa, colonization, slavery, Africa never lost its or their
Tradition.
histories. And that's why people may say they're conquered, but they are not, their lands are not taken over like Australia and some other
Yep.
places, that the
Yep.
people that are indigenous are completely wiped
We
out
kill them.
and replaced. People say we didn't fight, but we did our best and we're
Sure.
still standing. Africa is not perfect, but the fabric of Africa still
It's
remains
still
African. If you want to know about African cultures and
True
what
that.
makes us Africans, you need to come down from your high horse, have an open mind and dialogue, and go read. Find out more about Africa. Africa is not the same continent as America. I respect America as they have their own cultures. I will not dare question what Americans want for themselves. But let no man, whosoever born of woman, to
hmm
stand and dare anything Africa want to be.
Yep.
Africa should be what they have always been. I believe that Africa can modernize their cultures, but there are
Hey,
things,
Dynas, I found what I was looking
that are
for.
fabric
Let her
about.
finish.
No, don't interrupt me, please, because show some respect. Me, I'm not here to come and throw jabs with you. You will not win. You will not win. So, Africa is Africa and will continue to be Africa, whether you mingle with Africa or not. Africa is governed by cultures,
Yep.
depending on the region. So we are ethnic people, and it's never going to be wiped out. It's never going to change. We can find a way to make to bring success for our people. It may not be democracy. We don't have to copy American way of governing. We may not copy the European way. We can do it African way and
Yeah.
Africanize our ways. It doesn't
Do y'all
mean
still wear the powder wigs in the courtrooms and all that?
just like your mama wore it when before he was transported to America. If
Oh
you dare
God!
ask me silly questions, man, you're
Whoa!
gonna get my fingers in
Oh,
your
Oh,
eyes. I have
whoa!
not.
Whoa.
Don't forget my blood
Excuse
runs in
me.
you. Don't forget I
Uh,
gave birth to you. So whatever you have, I have double. So please don't go
yeah.
there. Thank you.
But
may
oh
I
yeah,
go?
Hey,
that
yeah,
was a
hey,
serious
yeah,
question.
New person, new
hey,
person,
yeah. Hey,
new
look up,
person.
hey, Dennis, look up a letter from Phyllis Wheatley to the Countess of Huntington.
The argument is, was she born in West Africa? Yes or no?
Look that up. It's a letter she sent to the
Was she
Countess.
born in West Africa? Yes or no?
I'm going now.
Look
Thank
up
you,
Okay,
that
thank you.
letter
Ella.
she
Well,
sent
Bye bye.
thanks a lot for
to the
coming back
Countess of
up.
Huntington.
Can you yield for a
Was she
second
born in
while I
West
Look that letter
Africa?
up.
Was she born in West Africa?
Go ahead, Miss Sisters.
They never say it. She say her.
Come on. Can you just be quiet for just 2 seconds, please?
My sisters, bye
No.
bye.
Hello, thank you for coming back up. But
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
don't know if this is something that you can answer because Ghana has a constitution. So is that not governed by democratic laws?
Yeah,
That's
it
okay.
is.
Go
It
ahead.
depends. It depends. Ghana, like I've said to you, Africa hasn't lost its values regardless of what is imposed on them. They're trying to make it their ways, like Burkina Faso is doing. So, what makes Ghana, the ingredients and fabrics of Ghana still remains, regardless of what America or whoever brought
Yeah.
there. The
Yeah. We have.
democracy they are practicing in
Yeah.
the eyes of the world it's foreign democracy, but we have our own ways, and
Yeah.
that is it.
We
It's
got
not
the
going to
House of
change.
Chiefs.
Not in million years. It will never change. It will
Yeah.
never change. So you need
We
to
have.
come to. You need to follow diners to visit. Until your food touches Africa, you will not understand. I don't know how to explain it, but Africa is unique. You need to
Yeah.
come there.
Yeah.
When you get there, you will understand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. The
All right,
Asantehene is not
let me
just
pass the
a
mic.
dynasty.
Let me pass the mic to Shaw. Go ahead, Shaw.
I'll just say something
Okay,
quickly.
so I just Googled Phyllis Wheatley was born in either Senegal or Gambia, and looks like 1753 was the time she was either born or came to the United States. So there you go with that, and that's interesting. I never knew that about her. Okay, whole ethnic groups have been wiped out. There's a few Toma left in Guinea, Conakry, Guinea. I don't know. It was only 100, and that was maybe 30 years ago. There were only 100 of them left. Whole ethnic groups were taken during the slave trafficking, as far as that's concerned. And then you have my sister, and you know what? I'm not making this personal. This is just a personal pet peeve of mine. This is not even of mine, but of people who are like myself, who want African culture to be strong and to grow, advance, and advance from where we left off at our high point. But with that being said, because of the Abrahamic religions, we have the destruction of African civilization. If you're talking about, how whoever is first is Jesus and not a Komfanochi or not the Chukwe or Chukwu, whatever the Igbo God is, and you talk
Tutu.
about Jesus Chukwu, and you telling us that Jesus comes first, that's a level of or a sign of the destruction of the culture of African people
No.
to be telling me about Jesus and not their own God.
No. No.
And I'm not knocking you because you practice Christianity, but what I'm saying is that
I'm humble.
we are in a dire situation when it comes to culture and the destruction of our civilization and the division that is being created by these
Mhm.
Abrahamic religions.
Let me-
Asantehene, as far as
Mhm.
that king is concerned, he's more powerful than most
Christian.
monarchs.
I
Somebody's
think you're
talking underneath.
Christian.
I'm can I
Sorry.
finish? I'm gonna try to end really quickly. I hear you in the background. I'm gonna try to land with this here, is that their figureheads compared to what they used to be,
Yeah.
more symbolic. They have some power, and some of the monarchs have more power than many of the other monarchs. But
we've been captured by the Western world, and we're trying to recapture ourselves and take our minerals back. And I think if we unite, and if we're African first, not Christian or Muslim or I hate to even say Akan or Igbo, that if we're African first and we hold that in our as a priority in how we identify politically, that we can use that as energy and camaraderie and unity to come together with a military and economy and one political force, one economic force, and unite with the diaspora as well, because that would be a big, huge help.
Well,
But everybody's got to be on code. Everybody's got to be on the same,
That's why
page.
we don't
And
need
I'll
the
land right there.
Yeah, we don't
All right,
need
let's pass
the
the mic to M. Go ahead, M. You got 30 seconds, M. Now pass the mic to Prince P.
Okay, in this letter to the Countess of Huntington, she's the one. Hold on. You said I got 30 seconds. You said I got 30 seconds, right?
M. She was born in Africa, man.
Okay, I got 30 seconds. You said I got 30 seconds.
Was she born in Africa? Yes or no?
I wasn't there, but let me get my 30 seconds. Let me get my 30 seconds.
I gotta pass the mic.
I get my 30 seconds. All right, man.
No, I gotta pass the mic to
Man, you're boring, man. You're boring.
Go ahead, Prince.
Salute to the panel. Salute to everybody. Salute to Dynas. Is a good topic. I got two questions. My first question is to everybody, especially Dynas. Isn't this what FBA always talk about? They always claim that Pan-Africanism is one-sided and that Africa never reach out. So by this guy coming into HBCU, reaching out, isn't that a form of a hand extension to Black America?
No, thank you. Because they liars. They lying. Africa love Black people, so they're lying, man.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff they say is a contradiction.
Anything outside of land and passports to FBA don't count. I'm just being honest. They want passports and land. They just want to wake up and automatic citizenship and free land. Anything else to them, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. By the way, the land and the so on in Ghana, particularly in Africa, that belongs to the chiefs. They're the ones that are the kings. They're the ones who oversee it. Okay, they're the ones who oversee it. They're the landowners.
Yeah, but I'm saying that they could voice their demands or their desires to this king. The idea that they claim that there's no hands being reached out. This is a perfect opportunity to present what they believe African Americans deserve and what they believe FBA deserve or desire from Africa. They're not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Jay, they don't even notice that this man owned almost half of Ghana.
Yeah.
All of the central region of Ghana. That man owns it.
10% of all minerals is his. Goes
so they don't even know the power of that man, that they have what you call first-hand access to. They playing with our revenues and our what generational access to our shit. These dudes are playing with our shit.
And you know,
I don't like that shit, man.
Yeah. You know the worst thing about it? They will tell you, oh, the Ashanti sold us. Well, this is the king of the Ashanti. Why don't you go there and put the questions to him?
They didn't sell us.
Yeah,
right.
That's the
They didn't even sell us.
They're playing with our benefits, man. These people playing with our benefits.
Have a town hall and let people ask him questions in a town hall where he meets and speaks with African American folks.
Yeah. African American.
Oh well, yeah, African American. It could be. FBA.
He's in Howard. Chris is an Indian, so he doesn't count.
So was Jesse Jackson. He the one that made it up.
No, he didn't make it up. I was there. He didn't make it up. He didn't make it up. Don't revise history.
Are petty, man.
Don't
He the one
revise
that got us
history,
reclassified officially.
No,
to
sir.
African American.
No, he didn't make it up.
Carrying Cherokee.
He didn't make it up. I was there. You were not even born, probably.
Okay. What I want to say
can I ask a question to the guy with the hat to the back?
Phyllis Wheatley called herself an American in the 1700s.
She was born in Africa, though.
She called herself an American to
okay,
the Countess of Huntington. Look up the letter. She says she's an American.
Okay.
Can I ask a question to the guy with the hat to the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you call my bro Ola an African booty scratcher, but according to
Who said that?
According to
who's Ola? Hold on.
According to
When I said
Foundational
that?
Black Americans.
No, who did I call that?
Well, Prince.
Ola, the African dude.
But Prince Chris isn't a foundational Black
I
American.
didn't say that to him.
He's an Indian.
It was one of these guys. Oh, he's an Indian.
He's an Indian.
Oh, okay. So what relation does he even have to this Ghana prince coming here if he's an Indian?
Well, I don't know.
Because the thing is, I come in peace, man. You know, really, I come in peace. And so my thing is,
you need to tell that to the white
why
man.
do Black Americans have to be African in order for us to get along?
Well, Chris, you're not Black American. Chris, you're not
I am a Black American. I am a Black American.
Chris,
but I'm saying, why does everybody have to claim this African
Chris,
stuff?
you said you were wrongfully reclassified, so you're acknowledging that you're wrongfully reclassified as a Black American. You're Indian.
No,
well, Indian also is
an African American.
Indian is also a misclassification too.
Okay, well, whatever.
So you're Aboriginal. There we go. I'm sorry, you're Aboriginal. There you go. You're Aboriginal.
So what tribe are you, man? What tribe are you? What tribal nation are you?
Sir,
same African tribe I'm in.
He's chicken song.
I'm an N-word, a Negro.
The Akata tribe.
No, you're not.
We the Akata tribe.
I'm an American.
Aboriginal tribe?
You're cosplaying Black American, and we need you to stand 10 toes down on your whatever Grandma said that you was.
Yeah, Cherokee or Blackfoot, whatever.
Well, if that's the case, Cherokee and Choctaw.
Y'all act like the police.
That means nothing right now.
Lineage police.
But I'm just trying to figure out what y'all is, man. Like American Indians.
What African tribe I'm in? Like you can't tell me what African tribe I'm in. You ain't asking me what's my African language,
Indian, right?
Are you gonna ask me what's my African language? What's my African tribe?
You're the one that's
gonna
telling
get
us
the same
you're
answer.
Aboriginal, man.
But when is the Indian
Africa.
chief? When is the Indian chief gonna come out and apologize for going along with the white man for changing our story? You guys claim that not only the white man changed our story, the Native American also went along with changing our stories. Why do you guys never go to them? Because according to you guys, you got reclassified and nobody went along with your story. And you guys are so slow. You started following foreign Africans and claim that you're African Americans.
The Native Americans are getting deported right now.
If your grandmama knew, your granddaddy
over 20,000 Native Americans
who helped conquer the Red Indians.
Hold on, Chris. Deported Native Americans to where?
Wherever their home is. They're not from here. I'll tell you this. They deported like 20,000 Native Americans.
They deported 20,000 Native Americans.
They are Native Americans right now.
To where?
Can we call them by their tribal name? All right. Can we call them by their tribal name? So whatever nation that you're from.
Yeah, what's your
my African tribal name? Give me my African
I have Congo and
tribal
name. I got Congo and Yoruba. And if you take a DNA test, you'll find out areas where your people are from. So
you mean the DNA test that only tests less than 1% of your DNA, and it says
but that 1%
only at the bottom of it?
But the 1% is the mitochondrial test for the mother and the Y DNA for the man. That is very, very accurate.
The same one where I can send my dog spit in there and they'll tell me I'm African?
No, we're not talking about that.
Can somebody tell me the tribes of
We're
the
not talking about
Aboriginal Americans? Like, what are the list of tribes? You know, what is it?
Shinnecox, Takapas,
Phyllis Wheatley called herself an American.
Oh,
Americans not a tribe.
I gotta pass the mic to Two Nigel. Go ahead, Two Nigel.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Dinas, for having me, and greetings all the panelists, chat, and then to the viewers. I can for a long time. The King coming to Howard University, I think that's a good thing, isn't it? They are talking to each other and exchanging knowledge. Who knows where some of those, students are going to end up in society later on. For me, I don't see any issue with that, other than the idea that maybe they should be looking to be meeting, talking to people that are of higher status, like the Black Caucus, businessmen, things like that. Those are the kind of interactions we need. Because when you see people come from the UK to America or other parts of the world show up, they tend to meet, look at even small Israel. They come and talk to Trump and all the rest of it. So I really wish some of our people are interacting more at a higher level. I don't even know what the Black Caucus is doing in terms of Africa at all. Like, it's almost like if they are not in contact at all. And many African leaders show up in America every year for the UN attendance for the assembly when they gather there, and they don't meet the African American community, at least not that I know of, not openly.
If I can just say tonight, the Asantehene is very much in touch with the powers that be in the Black America. You don't have to worry about that. Some of them would have been part of that congregation in that audience, so don't worry about that. They help organize a lot of it.
When you say I should not worry about that, I worry because it's not. There's no proof of that. And
I'm taking from me. They constantly work together. The Black Caucus. Ask Professor Smalls. Many of them are behind these meetings that go on and the invites. Many of them are behind. They've been working together for a long time. If you saw the speeches of those who came before the Asantehene came on stage, you would have seen the Black professors. There's one of them who's constantly on the Roland Martin show regularly. Don't be surprised if Roland Martin does a special.
You're talking about a great car.
They're constantly, yeah. They're constantly in touch with the Asantehene.
Okay, if they are in touch, personally, I would say I would like to see more of a kind of visible some kind of sign to show that these people are actually actively doing something. And to be fair, if it's one thing to say this, it's another thing to criticize the other side. And in the case of Nigeria is actually one of the worst in terms of interacting with they're just about the worst. Actually, they barely interact. Our officials, they don't communicate with. They barely. It's like Ghana at least is trying. Even if you can accuse Ghana of saying, whenever they do this, it's something that they have something to gain from. But Nigerians don't even try. I don't know why till today. I still can't explain why that is the case, and that's something that should bother you all, because Nigeria is extremely significant as a nation. If things are to change, and they are not interacting at all. So my take on all this is that I like the fact that Ghana is trying and pushing the boundary, but Africa is behaving like a cryptic case whereby interacting with its diaspora is problematic. Even interacting with itself is problematic. The entire system needs overhaul. And sometimes when I look at what when I hear some of the things that Akanfire says, it sounds a little bit extreme. But sometimes when you look at Africa, you just begin to wonder, after Nigeria alone, to take over Nigeria, they broke more than 500 treaties. These people, whenever they do stuff, it's a holding pattern. It's a holding pattern. In Africa, they broke more than 1,000 treaties to colonize that continent, because they always have treaties. They always have. Everything is a holding pattern. When they get stronger, they will come for you. And we seem to not realize that. And Nigeria is not engaging. Most Africa is not engaging. If anything, we are upholding the system that they put in place to put us in chains. And it's just a shame. But I can't complain. I can't complain with people trying to meet each other. It's a good thing. And I don't think FBA should be complaining. Believe you me, what that man is doing is better than doing nothing. It's better than doing nothing. What else are we doing?
Howard actually invited him to come. Howard University invited him to come. And Diana, he's doing the Akoside Festival this weekend in America.
Oh man, Akoside is Sunday?
Yeah, it's going to be this Sunday.
Oh man, that
fashion show.
Find out the program.
There are some people they are trying. I don't know why we don't hear from the people from Cote d'Ivoire. Maybe they are busy with the French. Africa is being fragmented linguistically, because you can be next door to Benin Republic, but we are talking to Ghana as if we ignore Togo and Benin Republic completely. The same thing with Ghana ignoring Cote d'Ivoire, and they will interact with Nigeria. It's really strange how the continent behaves. And those walls have not been broken down. The travel walls have not been broken down. So many things are just still in place.
Yeah, at the moment too, Niger, there's a lot of work between the Ghana government and Ivory Coast for the cocoa production and other things. Things happen in the background because of the free movement of people. So it's gonna if they got no choice because of what they've committed themselves to. They're gonna have to do that.
Togo may
Okay.
join the AES. You
All right,
guys heard about
guys.
that?
Let me pass the mic.
30 seconds. See, let me finish one on this one regarding when you are mentioning about the continent. The reason why I'm complaining about the continent is that if you look at what is happening in the Middle East now, within how many months? Do you know how many military alliances has come to fruition within how many months within those countries? From Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan, the three most powerful Islamic countries come together, form a defense pact. But do you see Africans doing that? They will never do that. If anything, they just arguing among themselves, not communicating with each other, putting even travel barriers between themselves.
Well,
the entire thing needs it's total this thing revamping, and if it needs to be torn down once and for all, this stuff needs to be moved because where we are right now, it's just a holding pattern. What I see is a holding pattern, and we are not out of the woods at all. So I'll leave it there.
Right.
All right, let me pass. I gotta pass the mic. Trinity Time Travels. Go ahead.
To God be the glory. Thank you so much. First of all, what I would like to say is that I'm just happy to be in the presence of all of these excellent, superlative thought leaders of your own regions and countries or whatever have you. I represent, I suppose, America. I don't know what you guys, how far you guys are indoctrinated into this, but I represent America. I represent me. I don't represent all women, but I do represent me as a Black woman in America, and that's it. So I want to talk about that. So I'm speaking for myself, and I'm not. I don't represent any political movement, any religious movement, any thing like that. So I just want to preface that. Me being grateful that you guys are even having me on this panel right now. I just wanted to say thank you. That I can be a part of this conversation. I want to say what I'm hearing you guys talk about is very uh, influential and also very important because there's so many people um, in my community. We don't have fathers, right? For whatever reason, I'm not putting the blame on anyone or whatever, but when I see you brothers gathering together and from your different communities and you're coming together and you're talking about things that matter, it kind of brings a pride to me, and that's why I'm here talking. And I just want to thank you so much. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me, so you can, I guess, sharpen up your swords or sharpen up your knowledge on where I am, go ahead. I'm opening up that panel.
Let me
Thank
ask
you.
you a question.
Yes.
So you say you're pro women. So are you not pro Black men?
Okay. So how I can explain this is that okay. I'm pro
Well,
me.
you explained it already. You ain't got to. We get
Well,
your feminine.
hold on, brother. You asked me a question, so let me finish it. I'm pro me. So I'm a woman. I was born a woman with a coochie and ovaries and stuff like that. I'm not a trans woman or nothing like that. I know that there's different terminologies and stuff like that. So I want to let you guys know that I was born I'm a natural born woman. So I'm representing me when I talk. Me, I'm a woman and I identify as a Black woman, i.e., I come from a descendants of slaves in America. Okay, so yes, there is there's you might say, oh well, who are you? You got curly hair or whatever. In America, we didn't have the choice to say who we are. Okay, because we were slaves. Okay, so that's my identity. Okay, and you might not respect it or whatever, but that's who I am as a Black woman in America. Okay, and I'm a natural born woman. Okay, so Next
Okay. You
question.
say
Okay,
you say there's.
Mr. M,
Go
will
ahead.
you?
Go ahead. Okay. Because she say I talk too much. All right, go ahead.
Mr. M, please let me ask her a question.
Yeah.
Trinity, I am so happy to have females come up on the panel. There's too much
Thank you.
testosterone at many times, but I am so glad that you are bringing an issue before the panel of males here. You say you are a Black woman. Now,
Yes.
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm choosing not to disclose that. Is that okay with you? That's my boundary? Is that okay with you? But what I hold on. But what I will say though is that I am older than most. Is that okay to say?
Okay, well, you sound young. That's that's
Yes.
okay.
No. Not only do I sound young, ma'am, I look young. My organs are young. My vitality is young. So but my chronological age is not young. So, but I will like to keep that private if that's okay with you, just while
Oh
we have this
no,
conversation. Thank you.
I perfectly understand,
Thank
and
you. I appreciate that.
respect people's privacy.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, but here's my question for you,
Mhm.
Trinity. Do you consider yourself a feminist or a womanist? Do you know the difference between those two terms?
Well, number one, I don't know the difference between the two, but I do consider myself a female and a woman, like somebody who has a vagina. Like like number one, when I can spread my pussy open. If y'all want to see it, I'll show you. I just spread my pussy open, and I have a pussy.
Vulgarity are not
If I
necessary.
had no disrespect, but if somebody, if I had a gynecologist go inside my coochie, they know that I'm born a woman. So that's
Okay,
the
well,
only words I know.
okay.
So I'm not
Oh, so
trying to
you're not like
disrespect
M
nobody.
then.
I apologize.
You're not
Okay,
like M.
Ines, I hope you don't get a strike for that. But
No, I hope I'm not, disrespecting nobody, because I know there's a lot of people who think that they're women. Well, excuse me. See, that's wrong, right? What I'm saying is, like, I get it, but what I'm trying to say is, like, I was born a woman with ovaries. You can look. I don't have no problem with nobody looking all of my ass. You can look at my ass and you know that I was born a woman.
So you're not a cis woman like M.
No, I'm a natural
Hey,
born
don't
woman with
disrespect me.
ovaries and a coochie.
Don't disrespect me,
okay,
dude.
I got a coochie.
You
hey, you know
disrespect
what?
yourself,
Let's.
fool.
Oh,
I'll
you know
find out
what?
where you live
Actually,
and take a plane
in a
to England.
different part.
You rich.
All right,
So
y'all. All right,
so
y'all.
what I want to know is hold on. What I want to know is who's gonna expect me, because somebody's gonna have to inspect this ass.
Wow.
Which one of you niggas is gonna sit up here
What?
and
Oh,
come
well, okay.
and come verify?
Trinity.
No,
Go
ain't
ahead.
no Trinity. See, you can't challenge
What?
me.
Hey,
Okay,
you can't come over that N word
See,
here.
How
that's
do
why.
you
You know what?
expect
See, that's
exactly?
why
Dinah, get
I
her
just
off.
gotta go to sleep. You know why? Because y'all don't even want me to be me.
How do you
Dinah,
want it
Why you gonna
exactly?
do us
gotta
like
make
Exactly.
that,
it right.
man?
I'm just
Respectfully.
letting you know, if
Dinah,
listen, if you
you
gonna
gotta
try
make
to
it right.
challenge my ass, you gonna have to come expect it, right?
Dinah, this
I
is a
would say
Turn the
this.
diabolical
camera on
woman. Get
then.
her off.
Hello, even though I don't
She's a
agree with hello,
diabolical
she
woman.
carry herself with a lot of class. You should listen to her.
Dinah.
You should monitor
I'm not
her after
classy.
hello.
I'm not classy.
Dinah,
You gonna have to deal with it. I'm not that
Where is you
classy.
from?
Dinah's
Where am
not.
I
Very
from?
well.
Yeah.
Me?
Dinus,
Me?
Yeah.
Hold
Dinus,
on.
I have a request from
Hold
Dinus.
on. Somebody, no, if you
Dinus,
talking to me,
Yeah,
Dinah's
hold
you gotta
on.
find her.
What, Mike? Somebody's asked me a question. Go ahead, Miss Sisters.
Dinus, I have rarely asked you to do this before, but we need to drop Trinity.
Trust me. She's
that's
diabolical. She's
not
gonna do
nice.
something silly.
That's not
She's gonna
nice.
do
That's
something
like,
silly.
no, that's
Well,
disgusting.
Trinity, you just said N-word. Trinity, you got that. That's a fine, Trinity, for
No.
saying
Yeah,
N-word.
that's it. It's fine.
Oh, that's
You came up
not
here trying to make
nice.
black Americans look
You're
bad,
gonna
didn't you?
pay $100.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so every rap person in America made. Well, see, y'all see what I'm saying? That's not nice.
You can't use the N word here.
You spilled a
Wait a minute.
stereotype
Number
talking
one,
about we
no,
don't have
hold on.
fathers.
Okay, but hold on. Before I go, hold on. Before y'all drop me though, let's talk about this though. How are immigrants who are not Black Americans, who did
We're
not
talking
suffer
about the
slavery for
Asantehene. We're
400
talking about
years,
Asantehene. Don't
mad
come and
at
tell me
me
on
for
that.
saying that word? It's weird. You're weirdos. Think about it.
Yeah, we are. Bye.
She got a
Okay,
point.
okay, all right,
Those
Trinity.
dinosaurs that they
Thank
You
you,
gotta
provide
think
Trinity.
about
everything.
that. You gotta think about that.
Thank you. All right,
It's a
go
good
ahead,
point.
Babo. Go ahead, Babo.
That's the American. That's the American woman. That's the
Yeah, we
FBA woman,
definitely.
man.
Yes, we sure do.
Unless she wants the booty scratchers to
Yo,
scratch
this
your
is
booty, man.
ridiculous. This is the American woman. This is unbelievable. But anyway,
She don't represent the
I mean,
American
there's
women
some
because
pretty
you
women
got
out there
Maya
that
no,
Sisters
no,
right
no,
there.
no,
Not
no.
insult
Very black
Let me
passing
finish.
lady right there. We talking about.
I'm an American woman, and I
Let me
don't
finish.
touch that. No, don't you dare
Let me finish. This is the
generalize.
American
No,
woman.
no, no,
This is the younger. This is the.
generalize and insult all Black
Hold
American
on.
women.
And you
Let
don't
me
know
let me
where she's
finish.
from.
Let me finish. This is the American woman, the younger
You
one.
don't
She
know
may
if
be
she's from
older,
American or
but
not.
this is what
She
it
could
is.
be a Jamaican.
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
right there, African American.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I just want to say the topic I want to think in Chicago. I was looking at a video earlier today, right, and I saw that it had some white people and some Spanish. They had Abraham Traore sign, a big sign of Abraham Traore in Chicago, and there was protesting that America should leave Abraham Traore alone because he is doing things for the country that America don't have. One with fixing roads and taking care of the people. They was on the streets. It had a lot of police there too. Had his signs up in the air. So I just want to say, for the FBA, right? The FBA is fighting Africans and Caribbean, but we got white. I want Africans and Caribbean people to understand where I'm coming from. We got white people in the streets and Hispanics, all right, in front of government buildings fighting for Abraham Traore. But we got FBAs.
But not FBA though.
But we got FBAs, these black sellout FBAs on here fighting their brothers and sisters online. So I'm gonna say
Because they Indians. They Indians.
I want to know did you see it because it was in Chicago and it was all.
I'm gonna tell you who these people are. They're a revolutionary anarchist group. It's founded by this dude from the Weatherman Underground. I don't know if you know about the Weatherman Underground. During the 1960s, they would plant the thing that go boom, and then a guy who got caught doing it was able to get out of jail. While you got Mumia Abu Jamal and all these Black Panthers still locked up. So that's the guy that's running. Every time there's a situation, it's like 5 or 6 of them. They march downtown, but people say they the feds because how he not locked up? He was planting these things in government buildings and got caught. Why is he free? And they got a magazine called Revolution Magazine. But people say they the feds. But look up Weathermen Underground, what they was doing during the 60s.
I would look it up, but
like Antifa.
I will look it up. But I just want to say, how did I know? Because we know we be a lot about things that goes on in Africa and things. We know, but how they knows about all these? Because I'm on my job. I'm talking to a couple of people we're contracting, and I'm saying I had a conversation with this brother from the DRC working over there, and they don't know. Some of these white guys like, who y'all talking about? They don't know what the hell. Or we was talking about Abraham Traore in the AS, and they was feeling like we talking Spanish or something. Like they didn't know who the hell he is. So I was just saying it could be, but I just want to note that a lot of people is taking notes of what's going on now. And I know you had said before, how is he getting away and then do him nothing and Gaddafi? I'm just trying to show you that Abraham Traore is on a different level to Gaddafi. He's on a whole nother level. Okay? And I think if anything happened to him, it's not gonna go right for any let me say colonizer in Africa, in any one of those places. So that's what's going on, because really and truly the propaganda and all that we knows is a lie. We knows he's really doing all this hate crime and stuff they're saying and dictator. We know all that's lies. Because we seeing with our eyes every day. We got
people there on the ground too that's telling us what he's doing and the good he is doing. So we know is a propped up lie with Langley and America, because people saying France, but America is in it too. I want people to understand this. France is not the only out there that want to bring him down. America is in it, okay? And the whole of Europe is in it. So when we're saying all of them, we mean all of them. From America to France to Germany, all of them. That's what it is. So I just want to say that we are watching what's going on. We're on the ground. And FBA, the FBA woman that come on earlier on, conduct yourself like a lady. You know, conduct it as a lady, man. Yeah, come up here and talk about all these things. And this is what some of these Africans and Caribbean be saying. We are not like, they don't want to associate with. They don't want to associate with stuff like that. And that's a fact.
You making blanket statements, stereotypes.
No. They do not. I'm telling you. I'm in the background because I am on the crew. I'm telling you, man. I'm in an American household. My father, I'm in a Caribbean household. And I hear everything. They do not want to associate with these type of behaviors. That's why a lot of from the Caribbean and Africa come here.
Two Live Crew introduced vulgarity and filth into hip hop. He's from the Caribbean. Luke is from the Caribbean. He introduced that filth into hip hop. Uncle Luke.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. That's true.
Talk about that.
No, but that's true. But he introduced it where? Here, right? In America.
He brought that dance hall stuff. They jumping off tables on people's faces.
So when you say hip hop,
whatever they doing down there, he brought that culture to our hip hop.
So
Luke did that.
You're a cis woman, man. You talk rubbish.
Don't disrespect me.
I'm saying, but I would much rather see that than the shit that goes on with drill music in Chicago.
Thank you.
I will tell you this. Have anybody ever saw the movie Predator 2 with Danny Glover?
Yes.
Now, in that movie, it came out in the 1990s. It was Jamaicans that was wreaking havoc. The Predator came looking for them. And then the real Predator, the apex Predator, was actually the Black American Danny Glover. But it was the Jamaicans drug lords in that movie. But the real Predator that really took out the Predator was that black man. So the Jamaicans got wiped out by the Predator easily in that movie. I don't know if y'all saw Predator 2.
What, the Jamaicans were wearing Rasta hair like you?
They were. When a Predator killed the Jamaicans. Yeah, I remember that.
Took his head with the dread.
It was Predator movie.
Yeah, M know he's a African or Caribbean because you know that dreads he have on that's our thing. That's a Caribbean style. Yep. He knows it.
And he come from Africa. He don't come from Red Indian.
Hey, they said we from Africa, right? But when I mentioned the artifacts, then they say, "Oh, you're not from Africa." Which one is?
What artifacts are you looking for, man? I still don't get it.
You tell me. You telling me my people was in Africa and didn't have nothing?
You were Indian, remember? Yeah, remember you said I thought you was an Indian.
Indian.
I'm going off what you teaching for now.
But you said my people, but you were Indian. Like you got your artifacts. Your artifacts are in North Dakota, South Dakota.
As far as absolute value, we're not going on absolutes. We're going on hypotheticals. Now, the teachings of Dynas is we are from Africa. And when I was actually in agreement with it, then the Africans pushed back saying you're not from Africa.
Well, you say you're not from Africa.
What is it?
What, are you a cis woman?
So if an African tells you you're not from America, you're going to listen?
I mean, regardless of what a person say. Y'all want us to be African, and you don't want us to be African. Which one is it? You don't want to be African.
Ask Maya. Maya is a professor. Maya, be a professor, all the knowledge you have. Are Black Americans Indians? Were they here before? Maya should know.
First of
Indians is what Columbus called them. Oh, go ahead.
Come on.
Let Maya answer the question.
First of all, Babo, professors don't know everything. I just want to say that we are specialists in our area of expertise. So I am not an expert in this area, but based upon my readings, I have not found any persuasive evidence that foundational Black Americans,
no such thing,
can be classified as Native Americans or Indians. Now,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
However,
if you want to know whether,
please don't interrupt. There was an admixture of the slaves and the Indians. Some of the Native American tribes, they did imprison the slaves, and they forced them into labor as slaves. But it depends on how you ask the question. If are they indigenous through marriage or some kind of kinship? Possibly, but are they original or aboriginal to the land? I'm not finding persuasive evidence, but as I said before, I could be wrong, and I just don't.
You are wrong. Come on, you know you're just talking rubbish.
Maya sister's right. You were in academia, and you know how glorified and praised Phyllis Wheatley is in Black academia. Phyllis Wheatley is highly esteemed, right? The first published Black woman or Black person, allegedly in America, right? And when I mentioned, Shaw came in with his research about she being from West Africa, but when I mentioned her own mouth to her financier, the Countess of Huntington, claiming that she was an American, he disappeared, right? He didn't want to look that up. And then she was an abolitionist, and she commented on the struggle in Africa. This is the 1700s. And also she talked about the struggle of us in America as two separate things. This is the 1700s, and she had a letter to George Washington. She was doing the American Revolution against the British Crown. But when I mentioned that she actually said she was an American in her letter to the Countess of Huntington, nobody wanted to fact check it. They dipped.
But it's a double standard, right? Because Black Americans say they don't like the Africans because they sold them into slavery, right? Caribbean was sold into slavery too, right? But at the same time, the Indians here was catching the slaves and taking them back to the slave master. You know about that one? How come you guys not mad with a native who was catching you guys back and taking you back to the slave master?
Nobody's really talking about slavery. We're talking about the current attitudes of Africans when we come across them and the disrespect. Because we can't really prove or disprove anything from 400 years ago. That's just probably conjecture or just whatever it is. That has really no impact on our daily behavior. But when we come across the Africans and we get the disrespect, that's more impactful than a story from thousands or hundreds of years ago.
I'm in this country. I'm in this country for a long time, and Africa never disrespect. Like, I don't know what you guys be talking about. Like, I'm in a country. I run Africans all the time. I'm around all type of people, and I never get no disrespect from no Africans. I get disrespect probably from Black Americans.
Yeah.
You know, saying, shut up, you with your language, with how I talk and stuff, to make fun of how I talk and stuff. But I never get no disrespect from Africans, so I don't get it.
Okay,
well, go ahead.
Let me answer your question here, because so you can get some kind of reference point to what M is discussing, because I have experienced it. I was at work and I had walked onto the elevator. And when I got on the elevator, there was this Black female, and she said, "Hi, I'm Jamaican." That was the first thing she said. She didn't say her name. She wanted to let me know that she was not a Black American. She led with that talking point in our conversation. And so this is how oftentimes Black immigrants, or the children of Black immigrants, how they converse with us, by setting themselves apart. Now, if you're
That's a
going
lie.
now.
You just make up anything to talk crap about other people.
Oh, Prince.
Well, don't come here with your female voice trying to be
You
all
know what?
innocent. You're wicked.
You
You
have
are very disrespectful,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Prince.
yes, you deserve to be
No,
disrespected.
no, no. Let Miss Maya finish.
You're a
Let Miss
wicked
Maya
woman.
finish what
Talking
she's saying.
lies.
Let Miss Maya
FBA
finish what she's saying. Hold on, Colorado. Let she finish what she said. I have a rebuttal because I just say I'm Trinidadian to people. I don't mean anything or anything. I know I'm black, but I say I'm Trinidadian when they ask me what I accent from, whatever. So, I don't think it's a disrespect. I don't think they're disrespecting anybody. I mean, guys that ask them what I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Nigerian. I don't think they mean anything about it.
Okay, here's the issue that those of us who identify as FBA, if you want to identify as Trinidadian, Jamaican, or whatever, I have no problem with that.
Yes,
What
you
is
do.
wrong? No, I don't. What is wrong with Black Americans, people who have lived here, whose ancestors are tied to this country for centuries, saying we are different from Black immigrants?
We know that. We know you're different. We know that. That's why we call you African Americans.
So why are you insisting that we identify an African ancestor?
Because you came from Africa.
No, we didn't.
But
well, if you didn't, then you got no business talking to us. What are you doing on this show? We're talking about the Asantehene. You people,
No, but Miss Maya, we know, and when you go to the Caribbean, right? When they go to the Caribbean, they say, yeah, I'm Trinidad and whatever, but they say from African, okay? They say from African roots, okay? They don't say, like, they don't count it out like how Black Americans is doing. We say in the Caribbean, because we've been sold too. It's not Black Americans, it's Brazilians. There's a lot of people been sold, Black Brazilians. So they've been sold. So we saying, yes, we from African descendants. We know we from, I never heard a Trinidadian or a Jamaican say, I'm from Jamaica. We've been here before Black slaves come in Jamaica. They say that Jamaican from the African, from African roots, Trinidadian from African roots, Grenadian, St. Lucian, same thing. So that's what's boggling me. When you're saying Black American, okay, you could be Black American, but you got to come from something, right? So you Black American from what? From nothing? Because everybody in the world come from something. Indians come from India. They come here. They say the Indian American or whatever Indian. Chinese, Japanese. So when you're saying you're black, I'm black. I'm black. Like
what is it?
From what? Like what root? Like from Africa?
But I think the difference though is
I
that
am
Black
foundational
Americans are
Black
immigrants.
American, and I acknowledge an African ancestor. That is my choice. Now, if someone who is FBA and they do not wish to acknowledge, if they do not wish to acknowledge an African ancestor, who am I to tell them that is not something that they?
You are a coward. That's what you are. You scared. You scared.
I think let me just add something quickly. Let me just add something quickly because hold on. Hold on. You hold on now. You'll be saying something. Let me just add this quickly because I've seen this happen multiple times when I even have conversations on the continent. It's like we have multiple identities. I don't understand why some people struggle with it. It was quite revealing when one of the speakers said, "What are you doing here then, talking to us?" Because the reason why you are here is because you have a common identity with us, but somehow some people prefer to only talk about one. It's not a contradiction to be African, to be African American, to be Nigerian. It's just that you operate a different identity when it's required. The identity that brought you here is the one that we all share in common. There's no point denying it because it's almost it's a mental issue. Because if you have an identity and you don't even recognize it, it's a problem.
I'll tell you this though, I'll tell you this, Mr. Tunaja. The reason we're here is because it's not no type of flattery or nothing like that, but this dude been on this show for years consistently. That's the reason we're here, because of this American guy named Dinas who actually has a consistency, incredible consistency, that y'all don't want to associate that with FBA or Black American. Like that's not a trait that we have. That's just exclusive to him. Like most of us is like that. Most of us are consistent like that in our daily lives. We do the same thing consistently, religiously, every single day. Like my father, I seen him work every single day until he died. Like the same routine. I think that's part of our DNA. But y'all don't want to see that though. You say, "Oh, the reason we here because of some African." No, this show been on for years.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
There is no evidence you are here before
No,
500 years ago. There is zero evidence
I'm
of
talking
it.
about here as far as this show. You say, "Why are we here on this
Oh.
show?" And the guy,
No,
the Prince Louis, say we
the
shouldn't
reason
be on
why
the
you are
show
here on
talking
the
to him
show
because
and
we
you
not
remain here on the
African.
show
He
is
said, "What
because
you
you are
doing
talking
here
to
for?"
Africans.
Every time we talk about Africa,
No,
you're
we
here.
don't have a problem.
African
Listen,
show.
I can't have a
The
problem with
show
Black
was
America.
started and it's ran by Black Americans for years. Like this
No,
show,
no,
this
it
is what
I
started
we're
can't.
off.
talking about.
It's about the Asantehene, my friend.
Yeah, I can't have a problem with Black America. My father is Black America. I just grew up in the islands. But what I'm saying is, and he don't go with FBA. He say he's Black American. He do say he have a different culture to my mom and all that. He do say that. But but he don't say he don't say he's not from African descent. Another thing is I don't think what's going on with FBAs is we don't have a problem. You could say your FBAs, but what FBAs is doing, they are attacking the Caribbean and the Africans. They are attacking. So you could be a FBA, you don't know nothing about Africa, that's fine. But y'all attacking now. Y'all saying we coming here, we taking all the resources. Y'all are trying to attack us, deport them. You know, that's
No.
attacking.
What it is
Actually,
y'all get a
that is what it
we are
is
relentless.
because
Like
the FBA,
we
the
are
FBA
relentless
resembles
people. When
the
we
match
start
on match
something, it's
movement.
like it never
Hold
ends.
on.
It's not.
The
You thought it was gonna
FBA,
slow down.
hold on. The
Hey,
FBA
hey,
Can I add
they
to the
resemble the
conversation?
match
Wait,
on
hold on.
match movement that you see in South Africa
Hold on.
right
Let me hear
now.
what M said.
If you let the FBA person go ahead, what they would do is they will start sounding very white supremacists, just like the
yep,
match and match movement that you see in
yep.
South Africa,
Thank you.
aligning
They're like
themselves with white
Joseph. They're
supremacists.
the same
This is how
people.
they behave. Now,
Can
that
I
is
can
what
I
I
add to
find
the
Same
concerning
motive
about
conversation?
behind.
FBA people. If he
Can I
wants
add to the
to
Yes, a little
promote
bit
conversation?
of
an American identity, that is fine. But
yeah,
don't
that's
use that to
true.
start
That's
attacking
a little bit of
Africans
xenophobia.
or black people.
Yeah, a little bit
Yes, that is what
xenophobia.
it is.
Yes, a little bit xenophobia for real. It come up very xenophobia.
Can I add to the conversation? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. I hope everyone's doing well. Peace and love to the chat. So I definitely want to add to the conversation. Let's talk about the chief that came to the HBCU, right?
He's not a
You
chief.
don't.
He's a king.
Okay, so the king that came to the HBCU, right?
Asantehene.
What I don't understand is, right, one of the talking narratives, right, with some FBAs, they'll sit there and say that Africans don't respect us, right? So you had again, you had him come, very respectful, didn't say nothing bad, yet he's getting attacked online. But if I remember, the same country, Ghana, was the one that apologized for slavery. Yet America hasn't apologized for FBAs. Ghana apologized. And not only that they apologized, they also allocated to some land to some FBAs that they have in Ghana right now that they talk to the government, which they arranged. Right? So now the question is it really because then they're not respectful to some FBAs, or are they disrespectful? Because what I'm seeing is a huge anti-African settlement. Give you another prime example. Recently, everyone knows the pop balloon challenge, right? I mean, because M was here the other day, and he said that when I asked him, can he name me a billionaire, and the name that he gave was Tyler Perry, because he's an entertainer, and he didn't bring Robert Smith, which he's a businessman, because he said that Africans, because they have the resources, whatever, they don't build nothing, whatever, because Tyler Perry is a form of entertainment. So now let's talk about Pop the Balloon Challenge. You got two Congolese, male and female, that started the show. At first, everyone knew that the man was Congolese. Everyone thought the woman was at least FBA. When that CNN interview came out, and they found out that she was Congolese,
Now they're having a boycott movement. They want to boycott the pop balloon challenge because they said they
See how
have no right to.
ridiculous it is?
Yeah, they had no right to do that. And remind you, they didn't say nothing negative. They brought black people from Afro Latinos,
Yep.
FBAs, Caribbeans,
Very successful
Africans,
show.
all on that show. Didn't say nothing. Yet they want to boycott the show. But yet you have a show like the love of hip hop that's promoting dysfunction, which doesn't represent the whole community. But that show's not boycotted.
Yep.
But they want to boycott the pop balloon challenge. I mean, the pop balloon show, which promotes dating, black love, marriages, even children. But they want to boycott that. So now it's just like, is it really about the disrespect? Because from what I'm saying is, I don't think that's the case. I just think that now, like I said, no one's not mad that you're doing your own thing. You can call yourself whatever you want, ice cream sandwich. You can call yourself a bus, whatever. No one's not mad about that. It's just the hostility, you know.
And the same people behind the March and March in South Africa are the same people behind this. The Afro Forum are working with the CIA department, and they're working on the internet. And the whole idea is to put black against black. Now the Afro Forum are already meeting up with the March and March. They're already the same people anyway. I said this on this show and on the Color Nation show that the Afro Forum are behind it. The white South Africans, they work with the CIA under Trump, and they're using this FBA and Tariq Nasheed is an agent. You're gonna see that very soon. Okay, remember I said it. And I said it.
Yeah, and man, Steak, you make a very good point too, because America was one of them who abstained. Well, they didn't abstain a lie. They completely when had a vote against slavery for reparations.
But Babalico, here's the funny part. The person who was in the UN wasn't even an American white. It was a European guy that got on the stage that said that we're not apologizing for what we have done because it was legal. That's the crazy part. But did everyone get the smoke to the European immigrant? No. Everyone just went at John Muhammad.
It was basically they were saying that the people who's coming with the claim are not really harmed. They're not like they don't have standing because they're not victims of slavery.
That's not what they said. That's not what they said.
That was the reason. They said the ones who come in with the claim they were partakers of slavery. How they gonna come with a claim?
You should be
getting sued too.
You're being very you being very.
That was the reason, and they were saying y'all had something to do with it. So how you gonna be over there trying to get the reparations?
You want to hear the funny thing? It's not like John Muhammad went there by himself. You know who also went there? Ben Crump, who's FBA. Yep. Al Sharpton is also FBA, and Professor Small is also FBA.
And that's something that everyone should know. Ben Crump and Al Sharpton do not speak for the average FBA.
Okay, but Maya.
Tyreek Nasheed does.
Hold on.
Tyreek Nasheed does speak for the FBA.
Hold on. Let me respond to Maya.
Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, they are Democratic Party cronies. I'm a Republican. I will not support the Democratic Party. I don't believe in abortion. I don't believe in men playing boys' sports. I don't believe in open borders. I am not a Democrat. And that's what
this ain't a Democrat.
But Maya, we are not a monolith. Maya, this has nothing to do with Republicans or Democrats. But what I'm saying is that those guys went up there and they brought that claim to John Muhammad. That's what I'm saying. Not saying you have to agree, whatever. If you have a disagreement, your issues with Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, and Professor Small. That's not our fight. That's our fight.
But man, we gotta be very careful with this Democrat rhetoric, because yes, Democrat does do a lot of those nonsense that we don't agree with, but I cannot go to a representative and a Republican and get anything done. Okay, I end up meeting when I went to Tennessee. I meet that young fella with the afro, that guy in Tennessee. I forget his name. That young boy, and he had a good conversation with him. Okay, the guy from he go through a lot of racism with them Republicans in Tennessee. So I will never ever vote for those Republicans, because I can't go to no Republican and get no legislation, nothing changed here in America. They all play semantics. I could go to a Democrat that look like me and talk to a Democrat. Yes, some of them does do wrong things, but I rather the Democrat than a damn Republican anytime, any day. And I see a lot of black people are running with this Republicans. Republicans is not going to do anything for black people.
We don't have to be any of that, but I will say this: what y'all have to understand about Black Americans is we really are a meritocracy. I don't know if anybody ever saw I'm gonna get you sucker. Anybody saw that movie Kenny Way? I'm gonna get you sucker. So remember when the OG pimp got out of jail with them goldfish in his shoes? He thought he was gonna get honored, and people laughing at him like, if you ain't done nothing to the previous generation to benefit them, or you ain't got no glory recently, you're gonna show up to Howard University, think we supposed to just honor you. For one, we don't know who you are. For two, you haven't really done anything. You're not like a Keith Lee who went to Gary to help the people when they was going through their time of need. Maybe if the monarchy in Ghana did that first, went to Gary, helped the people with the water, the electricity, then he would have got the glory of a monarch. Well, if you ain't done nothing, you finna just bow and honor you, and you ain't got no accomplishments, you haven't done nothing to prove yourself to us. He hasn't proven himself to us.
He's a king. He was invited.
He's a king, but we honor people who deserve honor.
People invited him.
Look, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Dr. King, these are people who sacrifice, so they deserve, and we give them their proper honors. But if it's a dude from Ghana somewhere in some dungeon, he's just going to pop up and expect us to just honor him, and we don't know why. You ain't done nothing in our eyes. Look, we are.
So you're trying to sit there and tell us.
I just like to say that I had no problem with Howard University inviting the Asantehene, if that's what his proper name is. But the point I want, particularly you all to understand, is that Black Americans, they are moving away from the Democratic Party. I voted Democrat for years, and if there is a sane Republican, or if it's in my political interest to vote for a Republican, I will vote for a Republican. And Black people, Black Americans, they are waking up. You know,
Maya, I got a question. Hold on.
Let me finish.
Hold on. Let me finish. I got a question. I got a question after. Go ahead. I got a question for you, Maya.
Let me finish, and then I will yield the floor. You know, a lot of there are some Blacks who are they're sitting on the fence because they see the Republicans as racist. And yes, they are racist. But here is something that a lot of Black Americans have figured out. We go to work and we work with racists. On our jobs, we serve people who are racist. Racist people are everywhere. So that cannot be the reason why we can't vote occasionally for a Republican and get the things that we need for our community. And so
what are the Republicans doing for your community?
No, hold on.
Let's answer that question. What Republicans doing for the community? What are the Republicans doing for the community?
Baliko, hold on. I got a question for Maya, right?
Sure.
Questions to you, right? How do you feel about, for example, you have this guy named Edward Bloom. Anything that has got to do with Black, like for example, the Fearless Fund.
I hate Edward Bloom. Bloom.
All right.
Yes.
So here's my second question too, right? The same administration right now, like what's happening in Illinois, they want to give reparations to FBAs, but now the DOJ is suing them, saying that how because it's race based, they don't want them to get reparations. How do you feel about that?
I support reparations, and as I said before, I don't agree with everything the Republican Party does and everything the Trump administration does, but it's a cost. I just make a cost benefit analysis. What I feel that is most important, and I voted for Trump, and I will tell you why. I voted for him because of Biden's migrants and the open borders. It was economically destroying many of the cities. The cities were overtaxed, such as, I believe Emma's from Chicago. I have family and friends from Chicago, and their property taxes are going up. Their resources were stretched too thin. it was what the Democratic Party was trying to do. It was just not sustainable, and the working poor were paying the political price to bring in those migrants. Can you imagine? Now, this is, I don't know if you all recall during the summer, the Biden migrants, they were sleeping in the police stations. And the average American citizen in Chicago, many of them could not go to the police station and conduct business and file reports because the migrants were sleeping there. They were sleeping in the damn airports.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just too
That's true.
much.
Yeah, what Biden did was terrible. But if I ask you, Maya, that was horrible. Just open border coming in from Mexico, that was horrible. But if I ask you, Maya, how much Ukrainians after that war came here, you wouldn't know, right? Because this is the thing. We seize people of color flooding in this country, but we don't see nothing else. When Trump giving all these white people in South Africa passes to come here on lies, all these Ukrainians flooding in here.
They don't care about the white folks.
Nobody
All they care
says
about is
nothing.
African
But
immigrants.
that's what I'm saying. Nobody says nothing.
Okay.
Millions of Ukrainians coming here. My neighbor.
Wait a minute. The news media is partially responsible for this.
Yeah, plenty of white people getting deported.
Wait. Let me finish. Yes, you are right. There was biased coverage in not reporting the Ukrainians. I do recall there was one independent journalist who actually covered the Ukrainians showing up at the border seeking asylum, and so. But
that's not even where the Ukrainians are coming from. They're coming in straight through the government. They're coming in and getting SSI and
yes, my neighbor.
What else are they getting? They're getting
my neighbor is Ukrainian, and I'm talking.
Getting access to Social Security.
They're getting Section 8 housing.
They getting Medicaid, EBTs, everything.
Right. So
millions
that work at an agency. And y'all don't care about that. All you care about is African immigrants.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
And I disagree with you. And you know what? Something else that's not being covered.
We don't hear you talk about it though.
These are whites. And
yes, that's true.
And you don't see it. So, guys, I am for deporting even the undocumented European whites who are here, because I know.
Why don't you talk about it though?
Well, Maya.
I am talking about it right now.
But Maya, let me say this. You notice what M just said right now, right? He said that the reason why Ukrainians can come because they have a so-called legal claim. So which one is it? Do you not want immigrants in your country, or do you want legal immigration, or you don't want nobody at all?
They are refugees from a war. What are you talking about?
So hold on. So you're telling me you're sitting here. So you're sitting here on the panel. Calling the Ukrainians refugees that came in, taking the EBTs, taking Medicaid, taking Section 8 housing and everything too. You're okay with that?
They got invaded by Russia. What are you talking about? They got invaded.
But hold on. So you're okay with that? But hold on. But somebody from Sudan that also has the same conflict, whatever, they taking the resources and stuff. But you're not okay with that though, right?
She was talking about Venezuela sleeping at the police station.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you, Em. They have a war too, and you got Sudanese that's also coming in. You have a problem with that, though, right?
You was saying undocumented illegal immigrants.
Answer my question. I said the Sudanese.
This dude is that's a false equivalency.
No, it's not a false equivalent because you're full of crap.
Using our taxpayer dollars as well. I oppose them too. You know,
Maya.
But you never initiate conversation on Ukrainians.
Maya, listen. But hold on, Maya, listen.
Should have received asylum in Europe.
Maya, listen.
United States.
But you never initiate conversation on European immigrants that are coming here taking up your resources.
But Maya,
never.
Listen. But Maya, listen. But listen, no. I understand where you're coming from. I'm challenging M because I'm showing the hypocrisy. Because he just said that the Ukrainians have a legitimate claim because of Ukraine, but the Sudanese, who's also going through a civil war with the RSF, don't. Because this is telling you that
Who
is an
said the
anti-black.
Sudanese don't have a claim? I didn't say anything about the Sudanese don't
You
have a
just
claim.
listen.
Maya said the people who were sleeping at the police station, they weren't
do
Sudanese.
you not know what the word indirect means? Indirectly, you don't
She
have
said
to say
Biden's
it.
open
You don't
border
have to
policy.
say it.
People's walking over the
You don't
border
have to say it
from
directly. You just said
countries
it
that's
right
not at
now.
war.
Everyone
What are
on
you
this
talking about?
panel heard you loud and clear that you are what's his face for the refugees of Ukrainians. You just sat here and just said it.
Because they're at war. That's international law.
Okay, so
Sudan.
is Sudan not at war neither?
And plus, Kamala
If
Harris
Sudan are
started
not
the
at
war.
war, stop deflecting.
Biden actually started the war.
Answer the
And
question.
plus,
Are they
move the
not at
goalposts.
war? Yes or no?
I would tell you this: if the Sudanese had the means to
Yes,
come
they're
to
at war.
America and it was a war-torn country, they would be under international law
Are
to
they
seek
not at
refuge.
war? Yes or
But
no
since
with
they
the
can't walk
RSF?
to America over the
Are they
border,
not at
it's
war?
very difficult.
Are they
It's
not
very
at war?
difficult for them to walk over
Are
our
they not
border.
at war? And stop conflating it. Are they not
What
at
are you
war?
talking
Yes
about?
or no?
They not at war. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
thank you, Maya.
Yes,
Thank
they
you.
are.
Here's the
Thank you.
problem.
That's all I want to
They're
know.
at war.
The legal status, the Sudanese were not. That
They are legally They are refugees, and
No, Miss Maya. The difference is
Yes.
the Sudanese war had nothing to do with America. It's between them Arabs and the South Sudanese people and all of that. The Ukraine war was started by
That's actually
Biden.
not true.
Biden started that war, so he was legally obligated to help them people because they didn't have to have that war. Biden told Zelensky
You know the
not to
United
make a
States
deal,
is funding that genocide,
with
right?
Putin.
You are
It
Biden
is not
full.
told Zelensky to do
You
official.
that.
are full.
It's
So
not
You are
official.
full
Joe
It
of
is
Biden was
not an
shit.
responsible
official
for that
thing
war.
that
You
You
are full
understand
of
that the
shit.
United States is giving the UAE
it's
weapons,
not
that is
official.
giving the RSF weapons to kill the people in Sudan, right? You know that, right?
They don't care.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
didn't hear
they
what he
don't.
said. What
They
did you
don't
say?
care about
What did you say?
Europeans coming here legally or illegally. All they care
Right.
about is people that
I mean,
may
the
look
people in
like them,
Sudan,
that can
whoever
cosplay
started
them.
that war,
But in
whoever started
actuality,
the war is
wait a minute,
responsible.
hold on. I've been quiet for a long time. Let me say this. Okay, but what's the real problem is that cosplaying is coming from the Indians. The Indians are cosplaying African Americans, Black Americans, because they are Indian. They don't come from Africa. Whatever tribe you
He
are,
talking
you
nonsense now.
don't want to
The guy was talking about
reclassify.
Sudan.
You
I
don't.
want to hear what the guy said about Sudan
I
as
know
far
you
as with his
do. I'm just
finances.
saying the
But
problem
He
Shy,
talking nonsense, man. You got a trick bag
Shy,
question.
you want to hear something so interesting, right? He just said that because they on TPS, right? So what about the South African Afrikaners? Are they on TPS? Nope.
They going back
No.
home.
And they're coming in
The
there, right?
Afrikaners told
And
Trump they were under some genocide. They told the
right.
president that, and
And
he
what was the
believed them.
United States involvement in why the
He
Haitians
believed
are
Trump believed them, and he let
But
him
you
Haiti is
in.
just
in a
said
Haiti's in a condition that it's in now. And what did the United States have to do with that? Everything.
They got
and
Everything.
then
They have
tired of
right,
making
the
extensions.
and
United
then
States
Shy,
went
What do
They
you
got
mean
tired
what
of giving
the
them
Indians
extensions.
are cosplaying
so
blacks?
so the
Can you
Haitians.
Shy.
explain that? Will you explain that? What
You
do
talk
you mean
about
the Indians are
He's
cosplaying
just
blacks?
talking nonsense.
What? No,
yeah,
no, no. No, that's a fact. The fact is that if you're not if you're not of African descent and you've been here, always been here in the United States, you were reclassified as Negro, and Grandma said that you was from whatever tribe that you in,
Hey,
and so therefore
Shaw.
you are
When
not
I mentioned
Black
Phyllis
American.
Wheatley,
You're
Shaw.
cosplaying Black Americans.
When I mentioned Phyllis Wheatley
She
calling
wants
herself an
people
American,
from
you
the Middle
disappeared.
East.
Oh no, I was here, and the
Now
question was
look up
no,
the
no,
letter
no. The
between Phyllis
question that
Wheatley
you didn't.
and the Countess of
I was
Huntington.
the
She
one
called
who
herself
looked it
an
up.
American.
I asked the
Look
question to when I AI Phyllis Wheatley.
look up her
I don't
letter to
care
the
about
Countess
her.
of
I
Huntington,
don't care about what
and
she
she
called
said she's
herself.
an American.
You didn't answer the question. Was she from
Phyllis
Africa?
Wheatley called
You
herself an
didn't
American in the
care.
1700s.
You're trying to obfuscate that point, that question that Dinah Samir asked you. You
Nobody
obfuscated
knows
that
where she's
and
from.
tried to come to some other point about her. I don't care
Nobody
about
knows
her
where she was
being
born,
American.
but
Whether
she
she
called
was
herself an
born
American.
in Africa, just like
She didn't
Nat
say
Turner's,
Africa.
just
She
like
didn't say
no,
Africa.
she was born in Senegal or Gambia. That's
She
in
didn't say
1750.
Senegal or
No,
Gambia. She didn't say none of that.
she didn't say nothing because she ain't answering the question or was asked the question. She wasn't asked the question, did she come from Africa? Just like Nat Turner's grandmother came
She has
from
a poem.
the Akan
Phyllis Wheatley
people.
has a poem called
Just like
Coming from Africa. In that poem, she say the savage lands that she came from.
I
She
don't
didn't
care
say
what
what
nothing
she
about no
said.
African.
That has
And
nothing
then
to do with the fact that she was
she
born in
mentioned the
Africa.
word Negro. She
He
said the
asked
Negro
you a
can be
question.
redeemed like the
Guinness
so-called
asked you
white
a
people
question and you
in
didn't
that poem she
answer.
wrote on
You
Coming from
Mm-hmm.
Africa.
obfuscated the question. And the reason why that's important that she comes from Africa, you know why it's important? Because y'all
No.
deny the fact that many of us come from
She said
that
she's an
all most of
American.
us
She
come
ain't say
from
she come
Africa.
from
Has
Africa.
been exiled from his own land. He didn't say the Negro has been exiled from Africa, or he didn't say, man, y'all brainwashed, man.
They
Y'all
don't
just
believe
brain.
anything, man. I was talking here a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying America has stuff to do with Haiti. They told me no. They said was some Haitians over here, was who did it, who pays the guy. But I'm fair to believe the Black American Haitians who here with all the intelligence America have, all the intelligence that just slipped through the crack, that they pay some guys from this Spanish country to come to kill the president in Haiti. Somehow that slipped through the cracks with American, the best intelligence in the world. That slipped through
It was
the
from
cracks.
Colombia.
Yeah, the Colombian.
We know
So
that it didn't slip through the crack.
somehow some Haitian American pays some Colombians to go and assassinate the guy in Haiti, and that slipped through America. Nobody sees that coming. They didn't hear no
Hey,
phone call,
Barbalico.
nothing about it.
And
Let's
Haitians should be
let's make believe for a second that America is our indigenous homeland, right? Let's just hypothetically say Black Americans, this is our original homeland, just like Africa is Africa's original homeland. Do
Yeah.
you think you're going to be blessed disrespecting us in our homeland?
Do you think you're going to be blessed disrespecting us in our homeland?
No, I don't take that. But nobody disrespect you guys, though.
Right.
Everybody that
But
has been destroyed.
Barbalico.
Everybody who ever disrespected us in
Notice
our homeland has been destroyed.
Barbalico, check this out. Notice the hypocrisy. Did the guy from Ghana, did he come to HBCU? Did he say anything bad about FBA?
No.
Exactly. So what is M talking about?
He came looking for respect that he didn't deserve.
Okay, so the other thing
here
about
and you
Haitians being in the United States is the fact of the matter is that the United States and
But
France,
stop.
well, should be paying reparations to the Haitians.
Exactly.
And the reparations could be the fact that they're here now, living here, and getting
No,
TPS.
Haiti paying France reparations.
No, the United States went in 1914 and took all their gold and took it and started the Federal Reserve in 1950. But you know that history, don't you?
Yeah. And Clinton.
You know that. And then after that, they continue to destabilize and disrupt their governments the whole
Federal
time, all the
Reserve
way until
is an
today.
independent entity.
But you do know that history, don't you?
The Federal Reserve is
Do you know that
independent
history,
from the United
sir?
States.
Sir, do you know that history?
The Federal Reserve is independent from the United States.
Okay, again, they went in and took their gold in
That wasn't the United
1914.
States.
The United States Army went into Haiti and took their Federal Reserve, took their gold.
Who took Gaddafi gold? Who took all the gold Gaddafi had?
So he doesn't want to admit that. And this is why the Haitians should be left alone and you should be quiet about the Haitians being in this country. And really anybody else.
Yeah, Haitians used to plant their own rice. Haiti used to plant their own rice, and the Clintons went and stopped them from planting their own rice. Everything that's happening in this world is because of these Europeans. It's a fact. But somehow these FBAs is not seeing that. They're seeing us as the enemy. Meanwhile,
There's a lot of FBA army in Haiti. What African armies over there in Haiti helping them out? I mean, like going against them.
And that's because of the United States.
Hold on. You saying hold on. Let me answer. I want to answer the question. Hold on. Let me answer the question. You saying that the army over there? You're talking about at first it was the Kenyans. They left, and now it's the Chadians that's there right now.
Yeah, they got nothing to do with us. We just talking shit on the internet.
No, you know the United States is the one who brokered the deal. What are you talking about? Are you silly?
Black America did nothing to nobody.
Okay, so your government did it though. Because we talk about Biden and what Biden did and why there's a war, and now you're trying to say, well, we didn't do it.
Right.
You didn't do nothing because you ain't got no power, you ain't got no political power, you ain't got no economic power, so you didn't.
So why are you disrespecting us right now?
You don't have any economic power, and you don't, and
What is
you
that going to
should.
do? What do you think? You think that's going to get us? You going to get in a better position talking
I'm
down to us
saying
like
that
that?
to you because you keep talking like you have a say
And
so about the government, and you have
Talking disrespectfully to us is not going to help you.
no. I'm
how is
African
it?
American, first
How
of
is it
all, so I
disrespecting?
can criticize my own people, which
How
I
is
do.
it? No, but hold on.
Okay,
I even hear Black Americans say they have no power. So are they disrespecting themselves? Black Americans be saying we don't have any economic power and stuff to do anything, just as the guy saying. So how is he disrespecting you, M? When your own people says the same thing?
He's
and political
denigrating. He's
power too.
condescending. He's talking down.
And
Like
no, I'm not
how is that
talking
going to help
bad.
you?
I'm talking bad on you, your group, you
Talking
and
down
in
about
the
us.
FBA group. That's what I'm talking bad on because
I'm
you
gonna tell
don't
you like this.
represent
I'm gonna tell
50
you like
million
this,
of us.
right?
You're a
Thomas
fringe
Jefferson
group.
has a
You're
book.
full of
Thomas Jefferson has
xenophobia.
a book, right?
You're full of
And
xenophobia, right?
in Thomas
About
Jefferson's book,
African
he feared
immigrants.
that God was going to destroy them for what they done to us, and it happened in the Civil War. We wiped them out. Everybody who ever
You wiped
disrespected
who
us or
out?
harmed us,
I didn't hear him
You
because
the
wiped
I was
white
who
man,
out?
talking.
You wiped who
the
out? You
white
wiped
man,
who out?
we
No, you
wiped the white
didn't.
man out.
No, you didn't. You're
Who
living
won
Where?
the
amongst
Civil
them
War?
now. You're living
Where are
amongst
they
them
wiped
now.
out?
Who
You're
won the
living
Civil
amongst them
War?
now.
That's a different breed. That
The
came from
other
Ellis
white
Island.
man is still running shit though.
They
They
running
came from
stuff
Ellis
Are you
now.
Island.
serious?
We wiped
They running
the
stuff
last batch
now.
of white people out, and then we got
Well,
our
and
freedom.
who's
Now
in
you
power
talking about
now? And who's in
Hold on,
power
Shy.
now?
Hold on,
you
Shy.
telling
If you
us
wiped them
Now check
out,
it
this
was
out.
an African on this show telling
Shy.
us our
who's in
ancestors
Shy.
would
power
be
right
rolling in their
now? If you
graves.
wiped them
I'm like,
out,
you had our ancestors in
Hey,
slavery.
Shy.
Why would they be upset
Hey,
about us being
Shy.
free?
Hey, Shy. Check this out, right? So if you have all the power that you claim that you have, right? Why don't you go to the Pentagon and tell them to release the orders that they failed? If you have the power, right? Can you do that, M?
Release the artists. What are you talking about? What artists? What are you talking
Release.
about?
I said release the audits that they failed multiple times, or all the trillions of dollars that they got in the Pentagon. Why don't you go over there and audit them?
Why would I care about that?
right?
Why would I
Exactly. You
give a
don't
damn
care
about that?
about all the money that goes to the war defense instead of
Right.
it going to
Look,
your
look, look.
reparations.
I'm gonna tell you
No, you
like
don't
this,
care.
right? If you're a person from another country, it'd be in your best interest to respect the people in the country you go to.
Nobody's disrespecting us, African Americans. Nobody's
You, for
disrespecting
one,
us.
you are disrespecting us. You're a
Well,
traitor.
I am us, and
Respecting
so I
You're
yourself.
a
can
traitor.
criticize my own people, and I'm not disrespect. I'm talking about
Benedict
this fringe
Arnold.
group, of ignorant, ahistorical FBA people calling themselves FBA. I'm talking. That's you that think that they're not from Africa. They're Indians.
When I ever
That's
say I
you.
was FBA, I
That's
never said I was
okay.
FBA.
Well, that's
Oh,
a lot of the
so
conversation is
now he's moving the
right.
goalposts.
No, he is moving the goalpost. Are you of African descent?
I ain't telling you anything about where I'm
Okay.
from. I
Oh,
said
look
I
at
was from
that!
There you go.
Look at
Mississippi.
that!
There you go. You're not
Look
of
at that!
African
I
Look at that!
told
descent.
I
Look at that!
told
You're an
I
Indian.
told Dinus on this show that my father's from Mississippi, my mother's from Arkansas.
Are you
That's
of
all I know.
African
Are you?
descent?
So are you? Yep.
According to
Okay.
me, I don't have any African descent.
Okay, so then you're not part of the
According to
group
what I
or
could
my
prove,
group. You're not part of
my
my group.
family
You're
did
part
a
of the
genealogy.
Indians.
My family did a genealogy, and they traced it to the 1500s in Maryland. Before they went to the Midwest, before they went to the South, they was in Maryland in the 1500s.
Okay, so
They
what does
haven't
that
found the
mean?
African.
All right,
And
so then
Phyllis Wheatley,
if you haven't found an
I
African,
tried to get somebody
and
to
when you
fact
look in
check.
the mirror, and when you
Phyllis
look in the
Wheatley
mirror, you
called
don't see an
herself.
African. When you
Listen,
look in the
listen.
mirror, do you see an African? When
Phyllis
you look in the
Wheatley,
mirror. When you look in the mirror, do you see an
the first
African, sir?
published black poet, said to the Countess of the Huntington that she's an
When you look
American.
in the mirror, do you see an African?
I will tell you this, y'all, since you like to fact check. Phyllis Wheatley told the
But
Countess of
Shab,
Huntington
Shab,
that she's an American. Look
but
that
Shab,
up.
you know what's so interesting?
She's
So
born in Africa.
if you heard what M said, he said he's not
She said
African,
she's
right?
an American.
So since so is M is not African, he can't get reparations because you have to be
I
of
said
African descent to get reparations.
I haven't
Right.
proved anything about Africa.
He
But my
doesn't.
family were slaves. My family were slaves in America though, because my father's from Mississippi.
So then, if you don't have a DNA test, because a DNA test can also help to verify.
Slavery is not contingent on Africans because there's Africans that weren't slaves.
We're not talking about that. We're talking
Slavery
about you being of African
reparations is
descent.
contingent on the fact that your family were victims of the slave trade.
So
Okay,
hold on,
and
hold
they
on,
Doesn't mean
are
you're from
and
Africa.
they are
Shot.
descendants of Africans in the chattel
Because
slavery.
there's Africans that
They're
participated in the
descendants
slave
of
trade.
African chattel slave and chattel and slave Africans.
Africans participated in the slave
African
trade.
is
So
part of it.
how can Africa?
They
How
don't
come
care
being
about that.
African?
They don't
How
care
can
about that.
how can
They don't
having
care
African
about that.
DNA
The Africans were
be
complicit in the
specific to
slave trade, sir.
reparations
You
when
care about
Africans
that.
were
They don't
partaking or
care about that.
perpetrators of slavery?
They don't care about Africans and their complicity in the African
And being
slave
a
trade.
slave
That's
doesn't
your
mean you're from Africa.
emotions. That's your emotion, sir. And you got a psychological issue that you
Just because a
and the group
person
of
was in
y'all
slavery
need
don't
to
mean that
deal
they
with.
came from
Hey,
Africa.
I gotta fact check you quick because you said that your family was from Maryland in the 1500s. Is that what you said?
That's what my family did the genealogy and found that.
But hold on. How was your family from Maryland if they didn't exist in the 1500s?
They was in Maryland in the 1500s.
You know Maryland did not exist in the 1500s. You aware of that, though, right?
I mean, whatever the state was called, that's what they say.
Whatever the state that is called.
My
So
family
you're
was in
indigenous.
Alabama
So
before it was Alabama.
hold on. So if you're indigenous to the land, you should know what was the name before it was called Maryland.
That's what my sister found years ago. They traced it with
So hold on. So you don't know.
they
So you don't know the name what it was before Maryland. If you're indigenous to the land,
they traced a family member from the region that's called Maryland today from the 1500s. They got
what was the
records.
name before
What was their
it was
tribal
called
name?
Maryland? What was the
Whatever
tribal
it's
name?
called, I don't know what it was called. I know it's called Maryland right now.
You don't know
what
it's
was
called.
you? Were you Nottaway Indian? Were you the Nottaway or what? What Indian were
I
you?
don't know. That's what they told me. They told me they found a relative from the 1500s.
Well, you know you're not African.
Who said I was African? I told you my father's from Mississippi. What that?
Okay,
Mississippi is
so
in
in
America.
those time periods, people came directly from Africa in the 1500s. You had people coming
Mississippi
in.
is in America.
I
Mississippi
didn't
is not
say
in
that.
Africa.
I didn't say that. I said in those times they were bringing Africans directly from Africa in the 1500s.
Look, I don't know nothing about what you said was going on.
If you
My
say to
father's from
me, I don't know about that. My people was in Mississippi. You sound ignorant. You sound
That's what I
like
know.
you're trolling. You're trolling. Actually, we
If
know you're
I
trolling.
tell you I'm from Africa, I'll be
When you
lying
look
to you
in the
because
mirror,
I don't
what
have
does your
anybody that
phenotype say?
I don't have any family members
When
that
you
trace to
look
Africa.
in the mirror, what does your
It's okay
phenotype say?
to claim that you're from Africa. But if you got
You know you have a phenotype, right?
oh,
Your
that's the problem.
phenotype is what
I
you
have
look like.
eyes. Every
So
creature has
if
eyes
your
and a nose
phenotype is
and
part of
ears.
your genetic makeup, if your phenotype
A
is,
dog has
when you look
nose.
in the mirror,
A
what
dog has
do
eyes.
you
What you talking
see?
about? When I look in the mirror, I see a face that's
All
relative
right.
to every
So
animal on earth.
you
Every
probably
creature has
look like
eyes, a nose,
you
ears,
probably
hair.
look like you're Akabundu
It
from
don't have nothing to
Mozambique.
do with being from Africa.
All
Actually, you
right.
got to have eyes and
It
a
don't have
nose and a
nothing.
mouth.
Oh, nappy hair and big
Every
nose and
creature
big
has.
lips don't have nothing to do with Africa. We don't
Every
know
creature has lips.
the
They got
Africans.
fish. They got
You
fish. They got
sound
lips like
silly.
African. Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
sound silly. You're not. We don't take you serious because we know you're trolling. We know you're from Africa and you look like an African.
I don't know nothing about nobody
Stop
from
playing.
Africa.
At what point do we, those of us who are FBA and we do acknowledge an African ancestor, at what point do we become just Black Americans? At what point do we have to stop identifying Africa?
When they stop taking the last Africans from Africa, so that would be the
Just
Catilda.
one at a time. Go ahead.
So when the Catilda was the last ship that they have
That was
record of
cap.
coming from Africa.
That's
The
cap.
Catilda came in
Cap.
1860s, right? So
Cap.
I would say
Okay.
use that as a
Cap.
measure that as long as they were taking Africans straight, fresh Africans was coming over here. At the point they stopped coming over here is when you stop becoming African, because the possibility is that your ancestors could have came over on the Catilda. And
Well, you got to show me evidence of that because I don't have any ancestors that I could trace to Africa.
Well, we're not
It's
talking
just
about you though. We're just using that as a demarcation in time. We're using it as a demarcation in time because
speculation.
Africans were coming
It's just
fresh from the
speculation.
continent, so we could use that as a measure of when we stop
Africans are
calling
coming here
ourselves
now.
African.
Just because an African take
We're not
a
talking
plane
about
to
now.
America,
We're
don't
not
mean I'm
talking about now.
related
We're
to them.
talking about enslaved and went
Just
through
because
the slave spirit experience. Chattel
listen, man, you
slavery
got
experience.
Africans that come to America right now.
We're
Just
not
because they
talking
got
about
black
right
skin,
now. We're
don't mean
talking
that we're
about
the same people.
historically.
You don't know what happened historically.
And they didn't go through chattel slavery right now. We're talking about African Americans that went through the genesis of chattel slavery.
Do me
we
a
went
favor.
through a genesis, a
Look,
historic
Shaw,
genesis.
do me a favor real quick. look up Phyllis Wheatley's letter to the Countess of Huntington and read
care
the
about
first
Phyllis
sentence.
Wheatley. No.
Read the first sentence.
I don't care
Okay,
about
I have
it.
another question for you. I, as many foundational Black Americans, we have a white ancestor in our family tree.
And
If
you
we
are
have
an educator, and I'm surprised at the stuff that comes out of your mouth, my sister.
Well,
The kinds of
Don't you dare
things that
disrespect
come
me
out of
like
your mouth. And you're a teacher.
not deny that foundational Black Americans, many of them have a white ancestor in their
We
family
all know
tree.
we have admixture of three things: African, European, varying degrees of African,
Okay,
European, and Indian.
My question is this: if we have to recognize Africa, do we have to recognize that European ancestor?
We do. We do. We recognize the Indian too. And the thing about it though is this, is that we think that we're more Indian admixture than we are, because as we're beginning to find out through these statistics of people that are taking these DNA tests, that we only have 1 or 2%. My sister went and took a test. That's why I probably won't even take one. She's got 70 or 8, no, think about 80% African and the 20% European, and the rest is some other shit. And then she's 2%
Listen,
Indian.
man.
Bullshit.
There is no
2%
such thing
Indian.
as African DNA.
Bullshit.
No, there is.
There is no such thing as
Well,
African
when I
DNA.
say African,
No such thing.
when I'm saying
No
African, I'm
such thing
saying,
as African
sir,
DNA.
I'm saying she had Cameroonian, she had Congo, she had
There's no
And no
DNA
sounds
called Cameroonian.
So well, sir, there is, because they're what they have done is they
There's
measured
a
her.
haplogroup, and it's a
Sir,
coded number. It's not called Cameroon.
But there's two things. One is they're taking they have
You have
samples,
mitochondrial DNA,
sir,
and you have your Y chromosome.
They have reference panels of
nothing is
modern
called
DNA from
Cameroon.
these different areas. They've got 30,000 reference panels from 30,000 from the Human Genome Project. They've got 30,000 alone, African ancestry DNA. And they test their DNA not through autosomal, through where the 5 generations is the test is only good for 5 to 7 generations. That's autosomal DNA. After that, you can't go any further back than that. They're using mitochondrial DNA from the woman and YTDNA from the man. So it's a very, very tiny amount of DNA, but it is very accurate about the DNA that goes in the line. Now, guess what? If you got a white great-grandmother somewhere, great-great-great-grandmother, it stops right there, because then it turns into, it will be European. But in cases where when they're using
There is
mtDNA,
no European DNA haplogroup, because you have one called E1B1A, which is associated with
we
so-called
know
Africans.
that's
And you
Niger
have
Congo.
E1B1B
We know that.
associated with white Europeans. Identical haplogroup.
Sir,
Two different people.
Sir, listen. What they're saying though is they take a region like in Cameroon.
None of it is called African.
Now listen, I said African, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
I said
African.
I said African, but the haploid group has a name. I said African, but I meant that they're my sister's
Mention
DNA.
A haplogroup.
Sir, you know what? It's okay, because hurt dogs
Mention
holler.
A haplogroup.
And
Mention
hurt dogs holler,
Don't
and
call
that's
it
what
no
you're doing.
African DNA.
You're being literal.
From a
You're
dog
being
and
literal.
Say you're African.
You're being literal, and you know what I mean.
Right,
because
exactly. Get the saliva from a dog and talk about it from Africa.
But the testing is becoming so specific that they're zeroing in on specific ethnic groups. They're being able to zero in on specific ethnic groups now. That is becoming so accurate.
Okay, here's my question.
Why do it say for entertainment purposes only?
We have, based upon genetics, if we have to identify as African, also,
but you don't have to identify as African. You can identify as whatever you want.
Asking a question, please.
Well, let me finish, because you were interrupting me talking, not let me say the shit I was trying to say.
You can babble. You ain't saying nothing.
No, I was making a point, but you said you mentioned something that was it was accurate, but it still does not give a nuance.
To science,
you weren't talking about nuance. I'm giving the nuance. I was trying to give the nuance about the point that I was making.
Can I ask my question? Okay, if you're going to use genetics to identify us either as African, can we equally say that if an FBA person has European ancestry, is it probably more appropriate to say that we are biracial?
No.
Rather than
no.
Okay, and why
And
not?
because if you're 80%,
if we're just going by genetic,
right, you're 80% genetically from sub-Saharan African haploid groups. Okay, to be specific,
so damn
80% of your DNA is from haploid groups from sub-Saharan Africa, and 20% of your DNA is from some haploid groups in Europe. And then you got right. But now here's the other part about that though. The other part about that is that the African DNA is dominant
of 80%. Who gets to decide and say?
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you. The African genetics, is
there's no
dominant.
African genetics.
I just finished saying haploid groups from sub-Saharan Africa.
Man.
So the sub-Saharan African haploid groups, and in general, the ones that are closer to the source, the L haploid groups, LO, L1, L2, that would be either the Khoisan or the Twa people. Those are the oldest genetic haploid groups in the world.
That is not the oldest. The oldest is.
No, I'm talking about Homo sapiens, sir. I'm talking about Homo sapiens, sir.
Which was
Thank
found
you.
in
I'm talking about
America.
Homo sapiens, sir. I'm talking about Homo
It's called
sapiens.
the
I'm
Alpha
talking about Homo
Y
sapiens.
chromosome,
Because even
which
that
is
Y DNA of that man.
200,000 years older than that Twa haplogroup you just mentioned.
No, sir, it is not. L haploid group is
Albert
the oldest.
Perry haplogroup
Sir,
is
his goes to
AOO.
Cameroon. And his goes to Cameroon. His is connected to the Cameroon.
It doesn't go to Cameroon. It
ethnic
go to
group.
South Carolina. They did that.
They found out his
later.
haploid group is connected to. No, they found out that his
And
haploid group is connected to ethnic
200
groups,
years
to
older than
haploid
the
group,
capital
ethnic
of Cameroon.
groups. Sir, I've had this argument several years ago. Like
And
we
that
had
was
this
a lie.
argument years ago. His DNA is related to haploid groups, genetics in Cameroon.
He's the first that they discovered with that haplogroup
and it's connected to Cameroonians.
And then they found some people in Cameroon.
It's connected to Cameroon, haploid groups in Cameroon.
They found that later on.
Well, but that's still the fact of the matter, and
He's the first.
Which means
from South Carolina.
That those Cameroonian groups are also part of the Twa people. That's the same people.
There's 200, 300,000 years older than the Twa.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you this: the Twa
you're introducing something that is.
The Twa was renamed AO.
The Twa is older than 200,000. The Twa is older than 200,000 years. The Twa is older than 200,000 years.
200,000 years older.
No, not older than Twa. 200,000 years from today. From today.